Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It's Monday morning. And we destroyed Detroit Pistons yesterday. Huge rout. It's weird because I feel like in some ways I ordered something up at the drive-thru and I got it. I drove around the side of the restaurant and they had it at the window. I said yesterday, don't play down to your competition. Play very, very strong basketball, regardless of how they play. Get off to a good start. I mean, it's like they tailor made some of the things for this. It's like go to the big man early, boom, yak up at the beginning. Really was like, wow, there's a lot of really smart coaching philosophy and understanding about what to do in this game. You know, Darko is best friends with Monty Williams. They coached with each other. He was under Monty, and they know each other very well. In some ways, I love that Darko kicked his ass so bad, even though they're good friends. No mercy. No mercy. In some cases, when you are colleagues and you really do like each other, you may go a little easy on some of these things, especially because the guy's lost 10 in a row and he's in a new job and he's in this and this situation. Well, survival of the fittest. Don't screw around. Don't be a nice guy, Darko, just because Monty's in a bad place and you love him. Kick his ass. And that's what he did. That's very much what he did last night. Yesterday was the anniversary of the Malice in the Palace. 19 years ago was when the Malice in the Palace happened yesterday. And in some ways, I feel like yesterday is kind of like a weird karmic kind of balancing out kind of thing in some ways, just because, the NBA is pissed at Detroit for what happened in the Malice in the Palace. It's ugly. I posted in the Raptorsfreak Facebook group yesterday raw footage of that event when Indiana went into the stands in Detroit and there was fighting with the fans and the players. All kinds of raw footage of craziness, chaos, a real fracas. Well, talk about the inverse, the opposite of a kind of game of the Mouse in the Palace. Well, have a nice little toothless Pistons game against the Raptors, and they get their ass beat bad. Yeah, all warm and fuzzy feelings for the Raptors. They look good. There was connection. They made a franchise record in assists. They scored the most points they've scored all year in regulation. They broke records from the 90s and did things that they hadn't done ever in a long, long time. So yesterday was a historic game for the Raptors, this blowout over the Pistons, getting 44 assists as a team. They were buzzing. They were humming. As Jakob said after the game, the ball was on a string and everything was just going right for them assist-wise. Fantastic, fun game. Fun game. I felt like that game was pure jokes. There were things happening in it that just had me laughing. Just laughing. When you can watch the basketball game and you feel like you're safe enough that the game's not going to be a bad game at the end and you can just enjoy it and just laugh and have some fun at some of the silliness that's happening on the court. There's so much to talk about this great game. In fact, I'm not doing 5 stars today. I'm doing 7 stars. Because if they route somebody like that, there should be 7 stars. So, yeah, the anniversary of the Malice in the Palace became a very, very nice visit across the border by Detroit to come and see us. Monty reunited with Darko for a coach's rookie challenge. Bam, bam, bam. I mean, I know Monty is not a rookie challenge, but new coach challenge. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, very, very fun. Let me check in with y'all in the comments real quick. MSJ saying, so if this is the Darko system, wow, seems they were able to implement it versus the Pistons and in time also against tougher teams. Future looks good. Flynn was even out there looking competent. All right, let's break this down section by section real quick. Yeah, well, part of it is, listen, the Pistons are not a good team and they're not as veteran. They don't know what they're doing. We had a couple advantages over them yesterday that we really capitalized. We're a bigger, longer, stronger, more athletic team overall. And we're the more vet team. And we're the healthier team. Yeah, we had a lot of good advantages over the Pistons yesterday. The thing for this is, all right, yeah, we saw Darko's system a little more clean because the defense wasn't as on our ass like these top Eastern teams we've been playing so far this season. How you want to make it hard on a new coach for the Raptors in Toronto? Well, make them play the top three teams in the East twice in their first 12 games of the season. That's 6 of the 12 games against Boston, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee. Well, yeah, of course, they're going to have ratcheted up amazing ass defenses that is really hard to get off the ground with a new offense against. You got a little bit more of a pushover defense. Well, you can see a little bit more of what can be generated between two-man give and go kind of play. And it was different combos of pairs that was doing really cool stuff. We saw Dennis thread the needle to Siakam. We saw Pirtle getting all kinds of crazy passes thrown to him and passes from him thrown to other people. Yeah, that was good stuff. And yeah, you see kind of what he's trying to do, get easier shots close to the basket, and boom, the field goal percentage goes up. They look better. They play better in general. They rout the Pistons. It's just like that. You play an easier team, your offensive system can be more well seen. And yeah, that was like that for sure. And you know what? They get it down more. They get more confidence. And a game like this is confidence building. This is a team building game. They're riding high going into Orlando for tomorrow and in the second in-season tournament game tomorrow. I like where we're at and where we played on Sunday to go get ready for this game tomorrow in Orlando. Yeah, Orlando playing very well yesterday and beating the Pacers and showing some problems for them. So this is very interesting stuff. This two-step we got coming up, the Magic on Tuesday, and then immediately going to see the Pacers in Indiana for Wednesday. Not the easiest two games. In some ways, I don't give a shit about the Pacers game. I only care about that Magic game. And, I don't care about the second night on the back-to-back. It's going to be what it's going to be. If we can win against the Pacers on that second night of back-to-back after traveling from Orlando to Indiana, that's great. But I'd much rather, if I got to choose and I only got to choose one of those two games we're going to win, I want to win the Orlando game. I want to win the Orlando game. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Future looks good. And he's saying Flynn even looked good out there, looked competent. There's a mixed bag with Malachi. I've been so tough on him lately, and we won so well yesterday. I'm going to go easy on him. He didn't start well. No, he didn't. Missing 2 free throws and missing shots like crazy. Then he kind of made some shots and looked a little bit better in the fourth quarter. But in the third quarter, he looked like hot garbage once again. But once again, I'm not going to pile on Malachi. He didn't shut me up, though. Let's just put it that way. He did not shut me up. That was the one request I wanted yesterday that didn't happen. Malachi didn't shut me up. I can still be critical of him. I mean, you missed 2 free throws, Malachi. You missed 2 free throws this time. I love that you made that layup, though. It looked like you were about to try and go up and dunk it, but you changed your mind. That was smart. That was so smart. If you had gone up and tried to dunk it and hit the front of the rim, oh my God. Oh my God, the things I'd say to you today. So I'm really glad that you had a change of heart midair and just kind of put it in the basket. That was very, very important and good. So, yeah, thanks for being here, Chris. We love you, MSJ. Trevor J is here. Commissioner Trevor J. Good morning, Raptors family. What a big win. It's the Commissioner's Cup, Trevor J Cup, the in-season tournament Raptorsfreak Family Cup. Somebody's going to win this. Whoever's team wins the in-season tournament is going to get this in-season tournament trophy. That's right. Gary Trent wants this. I'm telling you guys, he wants this. Good morning, Raptors family. What a big win. Raptors bench players came through and play a big game yesterday. They need to play like this every game. Oh, I wish. But also remember, Trevor, it has a lot to do with the opponent and what they're doing and who they are and their coach. Trevor's saying, habit fair. Okay. We're going to read the words of wisdom in a second. Yeah, I thought the bench was very, very good for the Raptors last night. Of course, we got extended bench minutes. I didn't like how long he kept the starters out there, though. Maybe he's practicing for the in-season tournament, possibly having to run stuff up, even if the score is really high up over them already. I worry about injury risk when you leave guys like OG and Pascal and Scottie out there, probably past when you needed them in the third quarter. And it is what it is. But, it's very even distribution of minutes. He did a San Antonio style of rotation. Nobody went over 30 minutes yesterday. It was very interesting. We had really good balance. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Raptors in double digits. That's always a good sign. That kind of stuff is a good sign. So, yeah, good bench production, good time for the bench to be out there. Very much a good time for them to be out there. All right, this is the words of wisdom from Commissioner J this morning. Life has its fair shares of up and down with problems, but it's up to you how you handle them. It's never ever until you decide it's never over until you decide it is. So stay strong. Only you can change the outcome. Thank you, Trevor J. It's like, if you really want something, it may be very difficult to achieve. And that's the thing. Good things that are worthwhile are hard to achieve. And there's going to be ups and downs. And sometimes you'll go through one of the worst downs and give up the project right before you're about to have that breakthrough to the up, the very awesome thing that got the success of what you wanted with it. So, yeah, I like Trevor's words of wisdom here, because being tenacious and not giving up when things are kind of not going well and still seeing it through to the light at the end of the tunnel can be very, very rewarding. When it's hardest to do it, that's the time when you need to buckle down and recommit to doing it and getting through it and seeing it through. There you go, Trevor J. I love your words of wisdom. The reward is on the other side of that hard stuff, okay? Just so you know, all y'all in the NBA and in your lives, the reward is on the other side of the hardest stuff. That's what I'm going to say right now. Nako is here. Good to see my friend Gerald Mayhew coming to a comedy club in the Toronto area. If you see Gerald Mayhew on the comedy club marquee, that is our friend Nako the Nacho. And I would hope you would come and check out his show, his live set of comedy, telling the jokes. This is a funny guy. That's right. Darko's system works really well with the type of player Scottie is. Hoping Precious stays in this groove. Yak looked real good out there. All right, let's do some stars of the game, my friend Gerald. I love you, Gerald. I want to hang out with you again soon, my buddy Gerald. I love you, guy. All right, let's see. First star of the game is Siakam, y'all. I'm going to go with the leader, man. My man Siakam has played very, very strong leadership type ball lately. Only 29 minutes, 23 points. That points per minute stat is something I really love, because, we have so many players that get minutes out on our team. They don't get points accurate to the minutes that they're out there. Certain guys, it's like, you can play 20 minutes, you're going to give me 5 points. What are you doing? Meanwhile, Siakam's out there, 29 minutes, 23 points, 10 of 18 shooting. He finally made a three, and it was hilarious when he made the three, because he's like, yes, he was like ecstatic about making the three after he made the three finally. That's hilarious. So we're very happy you made a three last night, Siakam. Breaking your cold streak over multiple games where you had not made a three. 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, no turnovers. Very ethical basketball played by Siakam. You're going to play a scrub team like the Pistons. You could have that scrub turnoverness get on you, but no, he is inoculated. He does not have scrub turnover syndrome, and he did not commit a single damn turnover yesterday. And that was actually part of the record. I mean, seriously, I should key on this way more. The Raptors did something that no team has done since 1991, and that is have 44 assists with only 8 turnovers. That's amazing, y'all. Seriously, think about that assist to turnover ratio right there. That is amazing, guys. actually 7 turnovers, 44 assists, 7 turnovers. If that was a point guard, that's like a 6-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. That is really a 7-to-1 one, actually, isn't it? I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. That is amazing, y'all. I'm really proud of the team for taking care of the ball and sharing it in a very fearless way to break our assist record, first of all, as a team, and then have such an amazing assist to turnover ratio of 44-7 as a team collectively. That's ethical, beautiful basketball, baby. It just makes me want to cry. Oh, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, my gosh. All right. Yeah, but Siakam, number 1 star. Second star of the game for me yesterday was Pirtle. And, Pirtle did a stat line that nobody had done since the 90s also. They're talking about Jokic stat line. They talk about, Scottie Barnes stat line. They talk about all these different guys doing things that nobody's ever done. And you don't think Jakob Pirtle is going to come out and put a stat line down that ain't been done since the 90s. Well, he did. He threw something down, a perfect shooting. That's what it is. He was 6 for 6 from the field with all of his shots. Most of them were dunks. So, yeah, of course, it's going to be perfect. He did really well at the free throw line yesterday, too. 4 of 5 from the free throw line. So he only missed 1 shot. It was at the free throw line. 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. 16 points plus 21. Nobody's had that combination of perfect shooting, that amount of points, that amount of rebounds, and blocks since the 90s in the NBA. That's nobody in the last 30 years had done this shit that Pirtle did yesterday. And of course, he got the chain. We saw after the game that Pirtle was sitting in the locker room with the chain around his neck. So yes, the different Raptor got it again. So different Raptors have been getting it. It's been different every time. So yeah, very interesting to see Pirtle get that very fantastic, perfect game by him. In a lot of ways, he played perfect too. He did have one turnover though, plus 21. Jakob, you are a badass, man. And he got the after game interview, and he kind of was, Siakam gets so much shine. In some ways, even though he's the top guy, the next guy is sometimes going to get the shine just because we expect Siakam to do that. And he's going to have to get 30 to really get the interview. You get 23 and lead our team, that's fine. We expect that, but they may look at the second guy and want to put some shine on him. And it's Jakob last night. The third star is Barnes. Barnes was very fun last night. There's a lot about Barnes that's very interesting about what happened last night. You know what? Listen, I learned this about Scottie yesterday. Scottie plays different when he's really relaxed and he doesn't feel the stress of a very high intense game. When he can be kind of playful and he doesn't feel like he's in trouble or scared or, there's, you know what I mean? Playing against the Celtics is a whole different thing than playing against the Pistons right now. And when you can be relaxed and kind of having more of a playful, fun kind of attitude, and you feel like you're on top and you're dominating, there's a certain different swagger and intensity to him. In fact, it's weird. Once he realized that, yeah, we're going to be top dog, we're going to kick their ass, he ratcheted up his defensive intensity on the full court stuff and really got all over them. And it made it even worse for that team. I don't know if it's him playing against Cade, his best buddy. That matchup brings it out in him. I don't know what it is, but I love that level I saw Scott in that situation. Now, the trick is going to be, how can you make that kind of Scott play in the high-intensity games against the big teams like Philly and Boston? Because I want you to have fun every game. I want you to look like that every game. And it doesn't have to be a blowout in our favor. It has to be like when you figure out that energy in those very intense games, we're going to win a lot. Now, once again, Scottie causing turnovers early in the game. We had only 7, and he caused 2 of them early from not being fundamentally smart, doing extra stupid shit with his dribble, stuff like that. That's why I hate that shit. I hate all that unfundamental, flashy shit because it will turn the ball over for you, and it's not smart. It's just not sound. You can do that in other levels of basketball, but when you get the NBA, it's the pros. And you got to tighten up is what I'm saying. Tighten up your handle, tighten up your decision making. Stop being risky is what I'm saying. And you're not the only one that I worry about with this. I could say this about Precious. I could say this about OG. I could say this about Malachi for damn sure. So Scottie, tighten up on the fundamentals, my man. Tighten up on the fundamentals. That's my only gripe on you, man. 25 minutes, 17 points, plus 37. The highest plus minus on our team yesterday, Scottie Barnes. Flirting with the triple-double once again, as always. 7 of 11 from the field. I love the shooting. He missed 2 of his shots really early, and then he only missed 1 more or 2 more for the rest of the game. 3 of 4 from 3, and those threes were so confidently stroked. When you saw the way it went through the net, right through the middle, and the way he shot it, that is pure, unadulterated confidence. And he knew they were going in. And if he's going to shoot threes like that regularly, whoa, look out. The league's in trouble. The league is in trouble. If he's dialed in and he can shoot threes 3 for 4 the way he did last night on the regular, the league's in trouble. This man gets his 3-point shot working better and better and better. The league's in trouble. I'll just keep saying it. The league's in trouble if he gets his 3-point shot going really, really good because he's doing that, it looks like. Let's see. He didn't get to the line once in the game last night, which is weird to me. I mean, there weren't a whole lot of free throws. There were actually. That's weird that Scottie didn't make it himself. 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 turnovers. Like he had a lion's share of our turnovers yesterday. He had 3 out of the 7. So in some ways that I gave him a detriment for the turnovers, and it really was stemming from unfundamental basketball, not playing fundamentally well, Scott, doing goofy shit with your dribble. I don't care about doing any flashy Just do what works and make it happen. And of course, we see Scott do everything down low, whatever he wants. So once again, I love what Darko said. This is what he said, y'all, and y'all need to listen. He said that a player in this league, if they're good at one thing, they get to be in the league. If they're good at 2 things, they may be a starter. If they're good at 3 things, they may be an all-star. If they're good at 4 or 5 things, they're in Europe because they're trying to do too much. Do you understand what Darko said in that moment in the press conference after the game? Talking about Scottie, by the way, that y'all got to stop wanting him to do too much. We got to figure out 2 or 3 things that he can be super, super good at, and that'll be his identity. Now, the thing is, he's in a weird situation where he can do so much. They get to choose kind of which direction they want to go in on developing Scott going forward. I'll tell you which ones I would choose right off the bat. The reporters try to ask Darko, well, what are the 2 things or 3 things that Scottie is that he will be going forward? He's like, we don't know yet. We're still trying to figure it out from playing him, working with him over years. I look forward to developing Scottie over years and really figuring out what the best roles for him to be are as an NBA player. But he can't be everything all at once, is what Darko's saying. In fact, that may be very bad for his career, trying to do too much as one guy. So I think that, listen, I know y'all want him to be a point guard, but I don't think being a point guard should be one of those 3 things that's on his list. I don't. I really don't. I think that he should really first should be like OG and take that defensive thing as one of the first things he should be. He should, if he already wants to do this and he's already on the fast track to it, and what is it going to hurt to have multiple OGs on our team? No. So I think the first thing is be absolutely a defensive stopper that could possibly stop any player on the court at any time. That's one thing. And then I really think that the second thing for sure should be the low post. Should be him himself shooting the ball and overpowering anybody on the court in the low post. He just has too much skill down there. He has too much strength. He's doing too good down there. There was one of his turnovers was a travel and trying to set up his post up. And that's actually a rite of passage as a new block player on the offense. Is every young player that tries to start posting guys on the side of the basket is going to get a travel call from trying to do a little bit too much with their feet before they turn. I saw that play and I'm like, he's learning, he's getting closer. Because when you do those kind of plays, like whether they're just a bunny miss near the basket or the travel call with your feet when you're trying to turn around in the post move, those are things that get put on tape and they get cleaned up, and then boom, he's better at it. So this is really good. I really do think it's defense and then low post offense. And then if at all, passing on top of that as a secondary afterthought, way after those other 2 things. That's the 3 things I think Darko is talking about at the end. They'll finally come to in the end. That I mean, I may be wrong. It could very much pivot and change to a different attribute about Scott's all-around game that they want to key on and really bring out. But I think that it's those 3 things. I mean, the passing and the flow and the connectedness stuff is great. Defense, low post scoring, and then being a glue guy, passing and flow kind of guy that cultivates energy and fast break transition and a connection with the other players. Those are my 3 things for Scott right there. Right there. And you can say the third one could be in a point guard capacity at times on the court. I want to be versatile and allow for Scott to do whatever he fucking wants on the court, but that's under the direction of Darko and what he wants for the overall team. So yeah, fantastic stuff by Scott. You know what? You're just a badass. And the intensity on defense, the rebounds, that's the stuff I love, Scott. And the killer 3-point shooting. Really, really good stuff. And the bully ball. Very, very good stuff. Scottie, you had a couple of turnovers, but you know what? I'll look over them. You're plus 37. That is amazing. My 4th star of the game is Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder had another very solid game. And whoever fucking is counting shots and putting down Dennis the last couple of days, shut the fuck up. Anybody who's talking about Dennis Schroeder shouldn't be shooting as much as Siakam or other people, you're dumb. You don't understand basketball. Sometimes players just get more shots because people have foul trouble, because the other team is keying on them with their defense, because the person that's getting the shots is the person who's getting more open than anybody else and getting the best shots. There's a lot of different reasons. It should not be just every given night. Siakam and Barnes should have more shots than Schroeder, because Barnes didn't get more shots than Schroeder last night. 8 of 15 for Dennis. He's above 500 shooting. You can't get mad at him for that, y'all. Seriously, you can't call Fred on Dennis, because Dennis shoots a higher percentage than Fred did last year. So anybody who's trying to transpose Dennis Schroeder's name over Fred VanVleet's name as far as how they want to treat him right now because they love Scottie so much, just shut the fuck up. 17 points in 26 minutes for Dennis, a plus 19, 7 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. 1 for 2 at the free throw line. He did miss all 4 of his threes, but Dennis was solid. Dennis was solid. He shoots over 50%. He has very few turnovers. He has lots of assists. That's a good game for Dennis. I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah, I like the way Dennis runs this team. He's a real point guard, and we love Dennis playing on this team and doing what he's doing. And if you don't, maybe you need to go watch FIBA World Cup highlights of Dennis playing for Germany this summer and start showing some fucking respect, you idiots that don't get why Dennis starts for the Raptors. Seriously, you can't think about Dennis like Dennis in Atlanta. You can't think about Dennis like Dennis in Boston, Oklahoma City, or LA with the Lakers. This is a different Dennis. Don't y'all realize this summer he leveled up? Just like in a video game. He got the whole new level because he became the MVP of the world, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, when Dennis shoots free throws, our crowd should be chanting MVP because that man is the MVP of the world because he won the FIBA World Cup. And that's the international play with all the teams from the world playing. And he was the best damn player at that whole tournament. And you're all going to tell me that he can't fucking start over a hot, cold shooting streak shooter named Gary Trent? You going to tell me that? That the man who's a FIBA World Cup champion and also the MVP of that tournament cannot start for the Toronto Raptors? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all are stupid. You do not understand that Dennis Schroeder has leveled up. And he's been in this league for 10 years now. He's in his 11th year. And that experience and everything he's doing is awesome for us. He's a way better fit for us than Fred. He's doing point guard things. And in some ways, he's doing things that Fred would have done for us now, but other things even better. Like being better on defense at point of attack and staying with the guys and 94 feet of defense. Scottie said in his interview last night, I love Dennis. Because he's an old head veteran, and he's still running and doing 94 feet of defense, full court press, just like I like to do. I respect the guy that'll do a full court press like Dennis does, like I do. And I'm not saying Fred wouldn't do a full court press, but it's a little different the way Dennis is dogging people, the way he does his full court press. Freddie can't do a full court press most of the game. He can maybe do it on a couple plays. But you weren't seeing VanVleet running all up and down the court with guys. You get burned and run right by. That's not happening with Dennis. So let's value our players, especially I'm really happy this guy's on our team. You know, a lot of teams wish they had the MVP of the FIBA World Cup. So fucking relish him and stop being little shitheads. Fucking Raptors social media places where you're really dumb with your opinions. Seriously, you're really dumb. Like, I don't think, all right, first of all, with y'all, the idiots out in Raptors fan nation that are spouting off in stupid ways all over the place. First of all, I either think you're little kids and you're just stupid because you are like 8. Second, I think that you're some sort of tortured 20-year-old that drinks too much every night and fucking hates themselves. Third, I think that you're fucking Johnny come lately that may be older but just started watching around the championship. Fourth, you fucking are just dumb and negative, and you're from another fan nation. You're coming in and trying to start shit by turning players against each other. Everybody's saying it's Pascal versus Scottie. Shut the fuck up. You saw the connection between them in the game last night. They high-five each other. They're smiling at each other. They are happy playing together as partners on the same damn team. And there's nothing wrong with them being on the same team. They fit. Everybody's trying to put out the words, oh, they don't fit. They're not on the same timeline. Y'all are fucking idiots. Who made these rules up? Who made these rules up? Did you? Did you make these rules up? Did some dumbass named Robert Misovich make these rules up? No. The rules of basketball are you can make any players fit. You just got to figure it out. And if they're willing to and they don't have attitude problems with each other, they can play together. You know, it's so dumb. I really wish our intelligence and our Raptors fan nation was better overall because there is a lot of misinformed, stupid, talking out of their ass opinion bullshit going on around here about people like Pascal Siakam and Dennis Schroeder. You idiots. And some of y'all even talking about we need to get a new coach already. That shows how dumb y'all are. What the fuck do you think? You fire a coach after 12 games, and especially when the coach is mostly successful? What dumbasses we have in our fan nation. That's what makes me think y'all are actually not fans and you're just negative ass, miserable fucks in your own life. And you just want something to opine on that you can get away with being fucking a piece of shit about. I really do feel like that. If you talk about the Raptors in a negative way constantly, you need to go seek help. You just do. You need to go fucking talk to someone like a counselor and maybe talk about your emotions and why you're such a piece of shit. How about that? I would say that right now. So there you go. Sorry, going off a little bit because I'm seeing really out of pocket shit in social media these days. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Seriously. My fifth star of the game is Gary Trent Jr. coming off the bench. Perfect. It's fine. 6 of 12 from the field. See, you can shoot off the bench too, y'all, you idiots. He's 6 for 12. He shot 50%, 2 of 7 from 3. Perfect at the line. That's another sign he's doing better, is that he did not miss any free throws. He missed so many at the beginning of the year. Him being 4 for 4 at the free throw line, that's a sign he's healthy again. 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, no turnovers, a plus 20 off the bench. 18 points, Gary Trent Jr. Nice to see him finding the zone and finding the basket long distance and just scoring really well. One of the things I really liked about the game yesterday was the extra passing. There was a lot of that's why we got so many assists. These guys were looking for the best next shot. And in some ways, they were making smart decisions about taking them when they did. In fact, I saw Gary passing off to other people more often in this game yesterday than he would have last year. He would have just taken the shot himself. So it was really nice to see unselfishness from Gary and making an extra pass to something like Pascal's near the basket instead of him shooting, and Siakam lays it up instead. Really, really good stuff, Gary. I like that unselfishness, and you're picking and choosing when to shoot and pass very well in the game last night. You go, Gary Trent Jr. We love you. All right, we're going into overtime with our stars. 6th star of the game for me is Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher was so funny to me yesterday because every time I saw him on TV, I giggled. I couldn't help it. I feel like, all right, listen, his hair looks so cool yesterday. Listen, I get it. You want to put it up in a little thing. I don't know if this was on purpose. The way he wears his headband is very interesting with his hairstyle. It looked like he was wearing a toque hat. It looked like a little ski hat that he was wearing the whole game. And to me, that was just funny to me. It's like he's wearing a Where's Waldo hat. And like, what? This is so cool, Chris. I'm like, it's like a rebel move. It's like, yeah, it looks like I'm wearing a toque while I'm playing the game. And every time Chris was on the floor and doing something, I laughed because I was like, he looks like he's wearing a hat. It's so cool. I know his hair looks cool. And he probably maybe did that on purpose. Who knows? He may have came in the game and said, yeah, guys, I'm wearing my toque today. And the players are all like, it's that loose kind of goofy shit that can make a team have really good vibes. I'm telling you. I mean, I was laughing at home every time I saw Chris make a shot or did something. I was like, it's like he got away with wearing a hat during the game. It looks so cool. I was like, he's wearing a hat. It looks like a hat, but it's his hair. Yeah, it looks like he's wearing a black toque with a red rim around it is what it looked like to me. It's hilarious. You know that's funny because I'm talking about that instead of his stat line. 18 minutes. 5 of 7 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. He shot really good from 3. In fact, there was one 3 that he shot that had absolutely no rotation on the ball. It was like just floating. It's like weird when you shoot a ball and there's no revolution to the ball and it just kind of floats up and then drops into the basket. There was one play where Chris shot it with no rotation whatsoever. If it did have rotation, it was rotating the wrong way so that I couldn't see it rotating, whatever it was. But he was 3 of 4 from 3, and that was awesome. I mean, some of those threes were not easy, too, and they were kind of crazy, but he made them. 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, a plus 10 with 14 points. Chris Boucher, you are awesome just for your hair and also the three-point making last night. Really fun stuff. Energy personified. My 7th star of the game. That's right. We did 7 stars because it's a route, baby. That's right. Precious Achiuwa, giving him the shine. He was really good early on with energy and getting us going. He was really, really good. 5 of 10, 500 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. So he nailed some threes. He really stepped into those threes and did them confidently. The way Precious shoots confident threes is badass. I want to see Scottie and Precious shoot more of these confident threes where they just step into them and they're nothing but net. They just look so good when they do that. Precious did miss his only 2 free throw attempts, 6 rebounds, including 3 offensive, 5 assists, no turnovers, plus 17, 12 points. It's just clean basketball by Achiuwa. Clean basketball and good stuff. Just really smart. You know, that other team's playing crappy and losing the ball all over the place, having all kinds of problems. It didn't get on us. It didn't infect us. The bad play of a shitty team. We played at a high level, at a top dog level. And that's what happens. You route people. You make franchise records. You do really, really good stuff. You start to almost even up your record, 6-7 now. Yeah, yeah, so much good stuff. There's my 7 stars of the game: Siakam, Pirtle, Barnes, Schroeder, Trent, Boucher, and Achua. That is my 7 stars of the game. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Jimmy is here. Good to see the Pope of Positivity. Jimmy Pope. This is how we should deal with the Pistons. That's what I'm talking about. Now to bring that same smackdown to the Magic and the Pacers. Let's go, Jimmy Pope. You know, it's important to beat the Pistons in the first game of the season because the trend is that team wins all the games for the rest of the year. This has happened for like the last 6 years. It's insane how this pattern holds. That either one team's going to win all of them for the whole year. It's either Toronto's going to win all of them for the year or Detroit's going to win them all for the year. Well, we won the first one. So it is indicating the next two for the rest of the year will be won by Toronto also. I could say that's probably true. After seeing them last night, I could say that's probably true. Trevor J saying yes and yes. If we keep on playing and buying into the system, we will be a problem for a lot of teams. This is the thing. In some ways, the NBA wants this difficult schedule for us to be really hard and have hardship, so these guys can't buy in. So these guys can't get good feelings and get going in a good right direction. That in some ways, that's part of the design of it. They want to break us with really, really hard gauntlet of games in a row and the way they do them. Well, that's the thing. We hold it together and just stay together. And then we get into breathing room kind of areas where we can get a game like last night. That is a team builder. That's a swag builder. That's a Riz builder. That's a builder that makes these guys love each other even more. You add in the rookies' 20th birthdays today. Yeah, that's bonding time. That's bonding time. That's good vibes time. That's time to be like, I trust you more. I love you. You know, look, we just made a franchise record. We get to share this forever. Scottie Barnes, 9 assists. Dennis Schroeder, 7 assists. All them down the road got assists, and they contributed to this big, huge record. That bonds people. You know, the trust gained from making so many assists completed and converted, that bonds people. This is all good. We need a couple more games like this. Listen, if we can kick the Magic's ass on Tuesday in an in-season tournament game, that really builds confidence. Let's just put that way. That really builds some confidence. And that's what I'm hoping for. That's really what I'm hoping for. And yeah, there's a lot of potential with our team. Y'all can see it. Y'all can see it. There's a lot of potential. We just got to get better at shooting. And there's a couple other things, and we will be all right. Trust me. We'll be all right. Chris is saying, yes, I do think the players will buy in, and in time, perhaps a while, it will turn into a well-oiled machine. I trust Darko has the smarts. Yeah, he's just going to do it right. I really like Darko as our coach. I think that he is going to be a very huge success. And that once again, everybody's going to say, wow, the Raptors do really good at hiring coaches. You know, Casey was a huge success himself. Nick Nurse, obviously a huge success. And, I feel that Darko's going to be in that direction. Some people, he does have the danger of being a dud coach. And that's part of the problem I have with people that are coming after him too early is that, we don't want to go through finding coaches over and over again. We really do want to get it right and stick with it. We don't want to be wishy-washy. You don't want to fucking be like you're at the mall trying on clothes, people. Come on. You just pick the fucking outfit and you wear it and you go with it. Because we ain't changing our underwear every day to get a new coach all over again. So we want to get this right now. And we are not rooting for Darko's failure, so we have to get another coach. Fucking idiot Raptor fans that think that right now, saying shit like that right now. We don't want to keep switching our coach like our underwear. Just trust me. It's not good for a franchise. So if we can get him ensconced, trusted by the players, and winning, that's what we want. And none of y'all negative ninnies talking this and this. Well, I'm not really thrilled with the coach so far and this and this. Shut the fuck up. Once again, everybody's going neg on the Raptors right now. Just shut the fuck up. We got a very promising core and team going, and we have a lot of bright future coming up. And y'all need to just fucking get in the car and ride with us and shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of the nitpicking, the critics, the fucking negative ninnies, the chicken littles, all the fucking dumbasses around Raptors fan nation that just talk out of their ass in really crazy ass ways. And in some ways, they're about Dennis, they're about Pascal, and they're about Darko right now. And I don't have no time for y'all. In fact, I'm blocking and muting y'all like crazy. The more and more I see y'all, I see respected people. I found this guy that Kareem follows on Twitter who actually covers the 905 and gives good information. And I'm like, all right, I want to follow this guy because I want to know what's going on 905 moves. And well, I unfollowed him a day after I started to follow him because he went on this crazy rant about Darko getting fired now. And I'm like, dude, you're covering the 905 and you think that Darko should be fired already? What an idiot. It totally blows your credibility, man, when you come and do that because it just shows how dumb you are. So yeah, man, really check your criticism and check if it's warranted, like mine for Malachi is what I'll say. Dana's saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning to Canadian Dana, a great Raptor freak, a true fan of Toronto sports teams, a big, huge Blue Jays fan, and also a very, very huge Raptors fan. We love you, Dana. Troy Henry's here. Good to see Raptor freak Troy Henry in the house. Long time Raptor freak Troy Henry. We love you too, man. Hello. Hello. Happy Monday, freaks. What an afternoon with yesterday's franchise history with those assists. Let's start the streak, baby. That's right. Let's start taking our clothes off. Gonna go streaking. Woo! Woo oh. Dana's got that 5-headed Raptors lineup. I love it. I love it. G saying Pascal was cutting to the net. Well, Scottie's passing is getting more refined. OG was passing too. Yak was on the attack. And I love how Boucher was feeling himself. Yeah, I like this little rundown. Siakam had that one cut through the lane that OG found him. And I was like, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Look at Siakam moving off the ball and being found in the lane by OG. Just dropping it off to him. An easy layup. This is what I'm saying. Let's make it easier on each other by working together. In some ways, I know this is not easy to do against a defense that like Boston or Philly would have. And that's the chance. You know, you got practice and practice and practice. And maybe this kind of things will be more possible as the season goes on, as we learn better and better and better. Yeah, man. It was really nice what Siakam was doing, cutting to the net. And then also Scottie was doing really good stuff all around in a lot of different ways. I liked his aggression. I like him going to the basket. Him and Jakob, very aggressive to go to the basket. Precious, OG also. They're seeing lanes to go straight at the basket and burst towards the basket. These guys are all doing it. And some of it's off passes, like Jakob's getting passes and then he's finishing. Some of them are Precious bringing the ball up the court really, really quickly and being such a threat that way that it's like he's a threat to go right at the basket and just jam it on them. That's so crazy good to have on our team. Scottie and him both have that. They can come up the court and then all of a sudden just turn on the jets, burst by somebody and throw it down if there's nobody guarding in the paint. So, man, Precious showed that athletic bag once again last night of just how much of a stud he is, gifted with his talents physically. He's amazing. Seriously, he is so much potential and he could be so much more. We saw him muscle in a shot near the basket, like he did a little post move and just overpowering over guys. We would both Scott and Precious unlocked with their low post offense down there, and they're both really savvy and feel really comfortable doing it. Yeah, this league's in trouble. This league is in trouble, man. It's in trouble. Bryce is here. Good to see Bryce holding it down for the Raptor Freaks in Kentucky. What's up, K-Tuck? 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 What's up? K-Tuck in the house. Yo, good morning, Raptors Freaks. Great win last night. Great basketball. Good ethical basketball. Clean basketball against a team that just doesn't know how to play clean basketball right now. They don't. They really don't. They don't have a roadmap. It's got to be so frustrating for Cade Cunningham. Seriously, you know, this is good in some ways. If Cade talks to Scottie, Scottie talks to Cade, Scottie realizes how much he has it good in Toronto because he could hear what Cade's saying about the team and what he's dealing with on his team. And he's like, wow, I am really lucky to be in Toronto. Seriously. Wow. I didn't realize this kind of dysfunction could be going on with an NBA team. So thank God I'm in Canada with the Raptors, where I know they're run well and they have a certain level of really committed to winning. You know, I'm not saying that the Pistons don't, but in some ways they have nothing to build off of to get there right now, other than their young players that they're just hoping figure it out. Man, that's so crazy. So crazy stuff. But great win, Bryce. And always happy to see you when you're in the chat. Tom Dukey is here. Tom Ducarelli. Tamarato. Tamarato too. Oh, good morning. Monday morning. Great win. And I don't care if it's only Detroit. That's the other part of the stupid people. They're going to sully it. Oh, it's Detroit. Of course you can do that against Detroit. Shut up, motherfucker. We put a perfectness out there. We broke a franchise record. We did some really cool ass shit. So yeah, don't be an Eeyore. Don't be a negative Nancy. Don't put down our achievement just because of the opponent. People on social media. That's right. Fiercely saying good morning, family, and a happy Monday. A great win by the team. We really dominated the Pistons and the record franchise 44 assists. Congrats. Yes, Fiercely Soft Sarah, Scottie Barnes, Swish family. We love you, Fiercely. And yeah, let's go look at who got the assists for the Raptors yesterday. 9 for Barnes, 7 for Schroeder, 6 for Siakam, 5 for Achua, 4 for Pirtle, 4 for Flynn, 3 for Trent, 3 for Ananobi, and then 1 for Boucher, 1 for McDaniels, and 1 for Ron Harper Jr. No assist for Grady. Sorry, Grady, you're not a part of the assist record because you didn't make an assist in your 12 minutes. But that's okay, buddy. You were in the game and you turned 20 today. That's awesome. Yeah, really good balance across the whole board with Scottie and Dennis, the leaders, and the assists. Very, very, very cool. G saying Dennis was great too. Happy birthday, Grady. They celebrated at Pie. Grady is loving it here. All right, let's go do that real quick. We got Grady Dick is getting wished a happy 20th birthday by the NBA. The whole NBA proper, not NBA Canada, just NBA proper has got him on blast on Twitter, wishing Grady a happy 20th birthday today. We'll go to the Instagram check now. Grady's coming into the game wearing a top with some bones on the outside. It's like you could see right through him and see his rib cage and the fit he was wearing going in the game. And the vibes all night. That's him in the car from the other day, riding around in Toronto in his car at night, singing in the song in the car. And people were saying, what Toronto woman's got him hooked up on this kind of music? Holy crap. But yeah, Grady's got vibes going. His team won in a rout. And also Kansas. He's watching Kansas football, and he's happy about what's happening with them, with the number 1 jersey getting retired on this court. And there's a picture of them at Pie that we were talking about. There's the birthday cake with Grady in front of it, and we see Scottie sitting there, and they're singing happy birthday. Scottie's kind of clapping along. But yeah, we see, I guess the team's there. Is that Gary behind him? I can't totally tell who is there. No, I don't think that's Gary. But yeah, they're celebrating his birthday after the game last night. They had time. I mean, the game was early in the afternoon. Chris Boucher, lots of pictures from the game last night. You see his little hat, hairstyle. I love that hat. Chris is so cool. And then we see him with Scottie before the game, and it says, my dog, your boy, Scottie. So him and Scott have a really good friendship, and they're laughing. And then there's he's throwing a clip of with Owen Wilson. I don't even know what movie that is. I don't care. He's throwing some clip up. Oh, it looks like it's whatchamacallit. It's Loki or some shit. I don't know what he's watching. Then we got Marquise Noel, Mr. New York City's getting his haircut in New York. He's been in New York the last couple of days because the 905 are playing today, guys. They're playing Westchester Knicks tonight. We'll have the ref report for you in a little bit. But yeah, he got the home cooking from his girl, and he's in the hotel, and he's got it looks like some rice and corn and some pasta with some sauce. He's just loving being with his boo and her having food for him. Siakam has highlights from the game, and the really awesome plays from last night, like Pirtle, him passing to Pirtle in transition, and him, the Austrian hammer, throwing that down. Jakob's really funny with his dunks and transition. He's so I'm like, you don't want to get in his way. That's a very big man. He could hurt you. Precious is celebrating Jakob with the chain on his Instagram. You see Jakob, they did upgrade the chain. You can tell. It's got more gold around the symbol on the part. So yeah, good stuff. I love seeing guys celebrating each other's accomplishments. Dennis coming into the game on his Instagram with the bag man, Dennis. He's always got his little bag. It's like a Gucci bag or something. Then there's a nice picture that the Raptors put up of him and Ellen and their daughter after the game, and saying best warm-up routine in the NBA. Dennis with Ellen and his daughter. So awesome. That family is so beautiful. And just we're so lucky and privileged to have insight behind the scenes of Dennis's life and his amazing family and the people around him. Let's see. There's Dennis making shots in the corner before the game, 5 of 5 from 3. Yeah, he reposted that from Raptors. There he is reposting Jakob getting his chain. So he's celebrating Jakob getting the chain. And there's somebody in the arena filming Dennis's intro when he got introduced by the announcer at the beginning of the game, Herbie or Strizzy. And then, yeah, some guy was there too. Some athlete. I don't even know who he is, though. Alfonso Davis. I don't know. Davies? Is he play football or something? He may be a football player or soccer player. He's a soccer player, I'll bet. I think, yeah, because there was a Team Canada soccer team was there or something. So Schroeder hanging out with the soccer guy, and then go like and show some love to Precious. He wants Dennis wants you guys to give more follows to Precious Achua. I know I'm already following Precious, but if any of y'all ain't following Precious on Instagram right now, Dennis is telling you to. Dennis is telling you to. That's right. Charles Oakley doing a turkey giveaway. That's right. Look at the old school Raptors sometimes. Charles Oakley doing the Thanksgiving giveaway for this week and Thanksgiving coming up. Good stuff. Good stuff. There's your Raptors Instagram check. Grady's birthday, 20 years old. 20 years old. Happy birthday to Grady. Happy birthday to Grady. You know, I was fun, Jack, singing happy birthday to Grady during the game, but it's a little creepy when you sing it like Marilyn Monroe to JFK, Jack Armstrong. You're singing a creepy song, the Grady, 20-year-old Grady. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Don't sing it like that, Jack. Come on, man. Don't sing it like that. It's a little fucked up, man. Come on. Sing it just like I would. Happy birthday to you. You know, come on. Don't do it sexy. Don't do sexy happy birthday like Marilyn Monroe, Jack Armstrong. Jeez Louise. Holy crap. Don't do that, please. Please, please. G saying, okay, I read that. Cool Cat's here. Good to see Cool Cat. Great. Raptor Freak, Cool Cat. Scottie Barnes, Switch family, Cool Cat. We love you, Cool Cat. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. It felt great watching a stress-free game and just learning Coach Darko's schemes. Yeah. Yeah, it was so fun. Callie's stress meter didn't exist. Callie was like, take me away, Calgon, and I'm serenity now. Everything is perfect. Beautiful game, a fun game. If you were busy during the day and you didn't watch the game, well, you missed out. You missed out. Maybe you can go back and watch it, the replay, because it's enjoyable to watch back too. There's all those kind of fun hijinks on the court. There's funny little moments where things are a little awry with turnovers for them, or something weird happens in the game. There's always like OG got a technical yesterday. That's a weird thing. That's a very, very weird thing. Let's just say that. We'll look at OG real quick since he wasn't one of my stars. He did have an off game, but can you give him a little allowances, Lex? He just came back from lacerated finger. Now he's being real coy about what happened to his finger. He wouldn't tell nobody before the game or after. He's like, yeah, I just sliced my finger. And yeah, it bled like a lot all over the place, like crazy. And it took 5 stitches. And yeah, I didn't shoot as well today. He was 2 of 11 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. He made his first 2 shots, and then he didn't make anything for the rest of the game. And I was like, man, OG's back. I'm so happy OG's back. And he made those shots early, but then he didn't make any for the rest of the game. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, a plus 15 with 9 points, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. He was even missing free throws partly because of that finger. So he needs to get that finger healed up faster. Now, he was talking about the playing with his left instead of the right stuff. That was hilarious. And he's all about, he did everything with his left hand this whole week, like brush his teeth, touch things. He kind of kept his right hand away. And who knows, maybe it'll make him more ambidextrous. He said after the game that, yeah, he wants to go in that direction in his professional career with his shooting, that you may see him shooting more with his left hand as time goes on, as he gets more and more comfortable with it. Very cool. Now, OG got a technical from Eric Dalen last night because he's complaining about not getting calls. This is so weird because usually OG's so quiet on the court, and usually I can't remember a time when OG got a tech like this ever. I can't. I'm trying to think of when did OG get a tech for complaining to the refs? Well, yesterday, for the first time that I've ever noticed. That was interesting to me. And I'm like, I don't blame him. He got completely hammered on that game play before that he's complaining about. The guy came down on him and hammered him. And it should have been an N1. Why do y'all treat Siakam and Anunoby like they just can take damage and they don't deserve fouls? You guys have done this for years to them. Siakam gets a little bit more respect from the whistle now. He actually does get to the line. But y'all need to maybe come around on OG also. He's put his time in. He's taken his licks. And that's all he's saying to you, Eric Dalen, is respect me, man. I got fouled like everybody else does on this court, and you didn't call that. It's like you're disrespectful to me. And I don't know what he said exactly, but he got a tech. And that's weird. Seeing OG get a tech. Now, a tech on the other side, Beef Stew's tech. I did not agree with that at all. I do not want these refs to start giving people techs and bullshit for talking trash. That's messed up. It's a part of the game. The game's getting softer and softer in weird ways. And if Beef Stew can't turn to our bench and say, shut the fuck up, then what are we even playing this game for? Because honestly, that's not a problem with me as a fan of the Raptors. The opposing player telling Art Branch to shut the fuck up. I don't no problem with that. I don't think any of the players have a problem with that. The refs had a problem with it, and they called it tech. Now I get it. Matt and Jack are saying it's a family environment. You can't yell the F word at courtside. There's kids present. Yeah, but so what? They've been yelling the F word for years in the NBA. For years in the NBA, there's been cussing around the game at courtside. Now all of a sudden you're going to censor the players in the heat of the moment? Nah, see, this is fishy to me because this is another area where the refs can manipulate. You know that straddle that line of passion and stuff like that. No, this is messed up. Giving text for profanity and intimidation stuff on the court is wrong. It's like the celebration stuff that they do in the NFL. I don't want to see the league go more and more in this direction. You shouldn't have given a tech to Beef Stew. I'm going to say that right now. You shouldn't have given it to him. Pistons fan, if you come and watch me right now, I don't believe your guy Isaiah Stewart should have got that tech. And I think the refs need to fucking check themselves if they're going to start being 1984 word police. Nah, fuck that. Free speech, baby. And especially if you're a high level competitor in a high level sport and you are working your ass off, you should be able to not have to be thinking about censoring yourself in the moment also. So I completely disagree with that technical on the Pistons at that point. Really completely disagree with it. And the other guy, the announce crew, gonna be like, well, you can't say that here. Well, motherfuckers have been saying that shit for many, many years. Now all of a sudden you want to sanitize it. That's so fucked up. Y'all want to sanitize it all out of it, but you will allow the betting and the children to be taken by the betting culture instead. Oh, you can't cuss. But damn, here, Johnny, go put fucking 50 on Tatum getting 24 tonight. You know, what the fuck is this shit world we're living in? You know, or B Stu can't say what he wants to say. I have no problem with them telling the bench to shut the fuck up. It's hilarious in some ways, though, especially the way the game went last night. Yeah. OG getting a tech. Weird. Very weird. Bryce is saying, I'm tired of seeing Zach Lavine's name, but would like to see us pushing for Jordan Poole. What do you think? No. I mean, it's a sign, Bryce, that Washington's already thrown their hands up and said, this is not a cornerstone player. This is not what was advertised by the Golden State Warriors, shipped over here, that we would have a new franchise player. We don't believe in him. We have no confidence in him to build anything around him in the franchise, and we're already looking to move him. That's red flag city, and we don't want that. We have Raptors red flags, but we don't want red flags in players. And that is something I'm not, he's on my no fly to Toronto, be on our team list. Yeah, he's on that list. He's not a good player. I called this 3 years ago when everybody was hyping him up, saying all this shit about him on Golden State. He's the next Splash brother. He's the heir apparent to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. I said he's a fake. I said it then. And I thought that he was full of shit and he had an attitude problem also. I could see it through all that. And I said he's not as good as everybody's saying. And now he's getting fucking, exposed for exactly who he is. He was propped up by the Warriors system. He's propped up by the talent that was around him when he was on Golden State. And now you see who he is. And no, I don't want him here. I don't want him here, mainly because he doesn't play defense. In fact, my reasons for not wanting Zach Lavine is the same as Jordan. They're both like over hyped and they don't play good enough defense. So there you go. MSJ saying, I'm very happy the Raptors took this game versus a lesser team to implement the offense properly. I know I said this already, but they're still an NBA team. Raptors approach this game perfectly. Yeah, this is a problem. Like in some ways, the Nick Nurse led Raptors would probably have taken them like slacked on them. But I like this. This is a sign of Darko being very professional and getting his team prepared against any opponent, no matter what they think they might be. That's really, really good. And the fact that these guys fell in line and acted like professionals and the results and the way they carried themselves on the court is really, really good. We have guys that are ultimate professionals like Jakob Poeltl, Dennis Schroeder, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Gary Trent Jr., Scottie Barnes. These guys take being professional basketball players seriously. And, just because they know they're going to go up against a team that's lost 10 straight, that doesn't mean they let off the gas. Or they didn't be cutthroat and they didn't really, really stomp them. I like that. I like that a lot. I would have, this may be an area where Darko and Nick are very different. Darko really was like no mercy. And Nick, in some ways, I've seen us play against slouch teams in the years Nick was our coach. And we really didn't play a high level and we kind of played down to them and just kind of cruised with them and then just kind of toyed with them and then beat them at the end. No, I like what Darko did yesterday better than what Nick used to do to these kind of teams. Because in some ways, Nick allowed for a lot more risk to lose the game. You want to be overpowering like this. And I love the way they approach this game also, Chris. It's a big deal. This is a big deal. They had a really easy day to take a day off and possibly lose to a team they had no business losing to. No, they showed up and made sure they won. They showed up and made sure they won. Stargate saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you, Stargate. Rogers employee. Woo! Again, this game was to show all those tradeaholic tank commander Bob, the rebuilder Raptor fans, how a team looks when you start down the road. 4 years so far losing. There you go. And I don't even know. He's talking about the other team. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's talking about the Pistons and the folly of being a lottery team and also a tanking over and over again. Stargate, you just got a dunk, by the way. Yeah, I love what you said. Some of this verbiage in here is awesome. I might steal this. Tradeaholic. Tradeaholic. That's gold. Tank commander, Bob the rebuilder. Oh, Stargate, you're winning today, man. You're winning. Yeah, you know what? Listen, that's what I'm saying, y'all. And Jack said in the broadcast last night, Raptors fans, y'all are crazy. You're so upset about last season. We were 41-41, and you think that was a failure. There's levels to this. I keep trying to tell y'all that. And Jack said it. It's like we could lose 60 games, and this would be really bad. Having a 60 game losses in the season, 20 wins only. Yeah, the Pistons. There's levels to this, Raptors fans. And all y'all Johnny come latelys that showed up when the Raptors won a championship, you just don't understand the pain that the Pistons nation is in right now, like we do, being original Raptors fans since 95. So just chill out. You guys have no basis to base your opinions on. If you have not been with us culturally for years, you have no idea what being a Raptors fan has been like. It's like what a Pistons fan felt like yesterday at times. And y'all been spoiled by the championship, and you really don't understand the ups and downs and where it is in the hierarchy of the NBA and just how hard it is to be very, very good. We've been so blessed and lucky to have Masai Ujiri running our team and having success and the second most winning team in the last 10 years in the NBA after Golden State, y'all. That's the damn truth. If you look at the last 10 years, which teams have the most wins over the last 10 years? The Raptors are number 2 in the whole entire league behind the Warriors. So you tell me if we've been unsuccessful. This is why y'all are spoiled, because y'all are used to winning so much under Masai. So I don't get it. Why do y'all want to chase Masai out of here? Do you not correlate Masai with the success of the Raptors like I do? Are you just stupid that you don't understand that Ujiri is the key to why the Raptors franchise has been prominent and winning for so long right now? That's another name. Y'all take his name out of your mouth if you have anything to say about him. I'm going to tell you that right now. There you go. There you go. Stargate, awesome comment. I love that. I'm going to use that. Tradeaholic, Bob the rebuilder. So good. So good. Cool Cat saying Scottie looking way more experienced than his draft mates. He is the best of that draft class without any doubt. Be grateful for. I love this comment by Cool Cat because it occurred to me yesterday. I'm like, yeah, we got the number 1 pick and the number 4 pick in their draft playing against each other. One of them won the Rookie of the Year, our guy, the number 4 pick. And in this game, his team's winning and he's doing better. Yeah. Yeah, I think that a lot of people that aren't even Raptors fans, people that are around the NBA, they may not be Cavs or Magic or Detroit fans. People that are fans of other teams will probably come to consensus and say Scottie Barnes is the best player from that draft class. Yeah, but this is the way they sully him. They look at the draft classes around him and they push people like Banchero and Chet and Victor more than they actually push Scottie, even though Scottie is a Rookie of the Year and he is a very prominent young player coming up. They'll talk about Paulo more than Scottie. Well, let's go beat up on Paulo on Tuesday, Scottie, and do the same thing you did yesterday with Cade. Show that you're the way better player because you're 2 sides of the ball and you're also able to do everything on the court, every single damn thing. Cade Cunningham can't guard Nikola Jokic. No, he can't. Cade Cunningham cannot guard Nikola Jokic. Scottie Barnes can. Scottie Barnes can. Let's look at Cade's stat line just real quick, just because he was the best player for the other side in some ways. Although they had a rookie named Umudi, who got 19 late. I wasn't really paying attention to the garbage time or the Pistons that much. I mean, Kevin Knox is a knucklehead. The way he threw Pascal into the rim, the thing that holds up the basket, That was scary. And Knox was playing dirty. He's a clown, man. Honestly, he's a clown. He's just barely in the league. Cunningham, 27 minutes, 18 points, 7 of 17, 3 of 5 from three, 1 of 3 at the free throw lines, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, minus 22. Minus 22. Yeah, I don't know. The Pistons have a lot of talented young players, but it doesn't mean jack shit. They're not together. They don't have enough leaders around that are veteran to guide them in the way that they should be guided. Then they're just wasting their time. They're spinning their wheels. I'm going to tell you that right now. The Houston Rockets are proving right now you need a veteran presence to win. And everybody who did these youth movements with no vets, you're idiots. And in some ways, Detroit is that team. In some ways, they are that team. I know their vets are kind of hurt and out, but maybe they just don't have enough of them. They just do not have enough of them. That's right. But yeah, I love that Scottie, once again, you could say Scottie was better than Cade for sure, and that he is the best player from his draft class, number 4 in the draft. And I'll bet you Pistons fans are like, damn, we should have picked Scottie. And some of them may be thinking that yesterday. Some of them may be thinking that. Jimmy's saying, imagine having your 20th birthday as a rookie in the NBA in one of the best cities. Hope he has a great day. No, he's got to be living the dream, man. It's Grady Dick is living that NBA life dream. And what a great place to be, Toronto Raptors, with people like Scottie Barnes and OG Anunoby and Dennis Schroeder. It's amazing. It's a dream life. And, this is interesting. Grady had his first 13 games of his life as a teenager. And it's only going to be the only games he ever played as a teenager were those first 13 games of his NBA career. Now he's a man. He is grown, and he's now 20 years old. He's no longer a teenager. So now we can't say his teenage games. We've had them now. 13 games of Grady's career. Well, actually, I don't know if he played in every single game. But yeah, that's the teenage part of his career. We just finished it. Now he's 20. Now you got to play even better because you're 20 now. Stargate saying Orlando's going to get that work as well. Mark my words. They've been playing really well. One of the things about Orlando right now is that their defense is playing very well together. So in some ways, we got to figure this out. I just want to beat their ass. If we take this really professional, in some ways, we have a veteran edge over the Magic. It may be very equal talent-wise as far as like butting heads, but in some ways, we have more experience in winning and doing good things right on the court. And that may be the key against the Orlando Magic. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere because it's in-season tournament with a crazy-ass court. I'll be interested to see what the Magic's court looks like, if it's too crazy distracting or something weird. But yeah, this is a big time, baby. In-season tournament means so much right now. And like Jack said, we don't know what's going to happen the first couple weeks of December after that New York Knicks game we played. There's 2 games in the middle there that will be filled in, and we have no idea who the opponents are going to be. At least 2 games in that middle part, maybe 3 if we're lucky, if we're very lucky. Yeah, I hope we do a similar thing to Orlando, but there's no guarantees. I don't think it'll be that much of a blowout, but if it's a blowout, that's great. But I expect a close game that's hard fought, and we'll have to see the refs who we have tomorrow, and I'll have all that on the stream tomorrow at 9:30. Orlando Magic in-season tournament game preview tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Come join us. I'll have all the pertinent information about the lineup and the referees. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, happy birthday to your rook, Grady Dick. Happy birthday to Dick. Happy birthday to Dick. Happy birthday, 20th birthday, Dick. Happy birthday to the 20-year-old Dick. And many more. Tristan Phipps. I love you, Tristan. Fiercely saying, do we know which teams are already eliminated from the IST? I mean, you can look at the in-season tournament standings and kind of understand, but it's really, I'm trying to suss it out to kind of figure out what it's looking like. I mean, it's really fishy to me that the Lakers are undefeated at this point. That Boston, they really want Boston versus Lakers in this first ever one. They're going to try and guide the water to it. I want somebody to mess that plan up from Adam Silver. In some ways, if it is the Lakers versus Celtics in this first ever in-season tournament, I'm going to say, yeah, this shit's already rigged. I'm going to say that. NBA, don't fucking try and railroad the matchup you want. Don't book this like it's a WCW wrestling card. Please, motherfuckers, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't book the in-season tournament. We want to see a fair competition, and I don't want to see no ref manipulation helping the Lakers get to the finals. I don't want to see that. I see how Tony Brothers keeps reffing Denver Nuggets games recently, and they keep losing. They lost again yesterday with Tony Brothers reffing around, and I understand their gripe about this. Something's fishy. You know, I just want this to be a good competitive tournament where it looks like the team that should have won, and no manipulation by you at the front office, Adam Silver. So fuck the Lakers and the Celtics and your fucking wet dream of that. Let the teams play and decide. If I feel like you're fucking guiding these teams to certain places, I'm like, why watch? Why watch? It's already determined. They decided in a boardroom, and they said, well, the Lakers should play the Celtics and the best team should win. If you already decided that shit on the down low behind the scenes, then why the fuck should anybody watch this shit? And they, people go make money off of it or something like that because they already know who's going to be who. Nobody's officially eliminated yet, I don't think, fiercely, but obviously teams that are already 0-3, like Oklahoma City or San Antonio's 0-3, they have no chance. So it's really look at who's at the top of each group, and then maybe there's a fourth team out of the three groups on each side that will get the wild card spot and go to Vegas. So it's really those teams that have like 2-0 records. Some of the groups, all the teams have losses already. And that'll get down to point differential kind of stuff, probably figuring out who's going to get to go. So we'll have to see. Our loss to Boston was okay because we only lost by 3 points. So in some ways, we're set up pretty good right now, but we need to win these other 3 games. And then we might have a chance, and we'll actually be in Vegas. We end up 3-1 with that only loss to Boston by the end of this. We have a good chance to go. I'm telling you, we actually do. Let's see. A Raptor Freak family. Carlo JS is here. What's up, Carlo JS? Love you, man. Love you, Carlo. You're such a positive dude. I love you, man. Let's see. Monique is here. The super fan, Monique Lawrence, the greatest. A great job, Monique, going down the game yesterday, bringing the good vibes, good luck, and the good attitude, and the good things, and the good win. And I know that you were just having a blast at the game during the afternoon yesterday, being at that Pistons game yesterday. Monique, you go. We love you so much. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. A franchise record in front of my face. That's right, Mo. She is a good luck charm. I really do feel like Monique is a good luck person around the Raptors organization. And we need to have her be at as many games as possible. Tangerine and Raptors, y'all get her down there every single home game, please, because we have a better chance when the super fan is in the house. Trust me. And Miss J saying at Cool Cat, yes, Cade, Mobley, Wagner looks good, but Barnes is rising to the top of that class. It really is that Barnes is just all around crazy, and we don't know what he's still going to ultimately end up being. It's really still trying to be figured out by Darko and Scottie himself. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. The more trust there is between that relationship, the more gains and positive things, Scottie's going to be like, yeah, what are we doing next, coach? And eat it up and just keep getting better and better and being more successful. And in some ways, Darko looks at Scott as like, wow, what a great player to be able to coach. He is so useful in so many different ways for things that I want to do with this team. So, yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I love it. And I agree. Scottie Barnes, the best player in his draft class. I knew it was going to happen that way. When I saw him and I saw his body, I was like, this kid's going to be the best player in this draft. Watch. Cool Cat saying, Lex, I think he was giving them practice run, especially OG needed to get basketball ready for the upcoming game. OG was breathing hard and needed cardio back in the game shape. Yeah, I was thinking about this when I was like, man, I would maybe pull them just in case because we don't want any risk of anything stupid happening. But yeah, when I looked at the box score afterwards, they were all under 30 minutes. And I think that last little bit that they played at the very beginning of the fourth quarter and near the end of the third, they started pulling them out after times. Jakob and Dennis went out first and didn't come back in. Then you saw Scottie kind of go out for the game. And then you saw Pascal get out. And then OG finally somewhere in the early fourth quarter. I think it was just to make some benchmarks, like you're saying, as far as like OG's first game back, get him like more ramped up, a little bit more time. And also maybe make some of those minutes numbers look closer to 30 minutes in the game, just to get them up a little higher. They had good stats with lower minutes already, but they just wanted to give them a little bit more run to get that stamina up and things like that. I think you're right. Exactly, Cool Cat. And that's the reasoning for it. And thank God, no risk, no reward. But yeah, no risky stuff happening to them in those extra minutes that maybe they didn't need to be out there. Yeah, everybody's fine. Fiercely saying 28 people watching, only 4 likes. Hit that like button, fam. Thank you. There's 42 now. Awesome. I guess we're growing. Tom Duke saying, let's go. Did Raptors get a new record for most points scored at home? I know that assist record is awesome, especially them being spread out. No, not just one with the whole one guy with the whole bunch. Well, that's the only way you can get to that number. You know who had the record for the assists before this was the Kawhi-less Raptors after the championship in November of 2019. Our Raptors got 40 assists with Kyle and Serge and Mark and that team without Kawhi. The year after, that very, very good Raptors team without Kawhi, the year after the championship, the first championship. Yeah, there's Lowry, there's Gasol involved in that group. So you can see that's very interesting that this team got 44 and that team got 40, and they were the before record holders. It's very interesting. I don't know what the record is exactly. I know this is the most points we've scored at home this season, and this also like one of the highest points totals for any team in the league. I think a little bit. No, maybe not. I don't know, Tommy. The records around the high point total, I'm not totally sure about. I know some of them are their most points scored in regulation with no overtime. I think because there may be games we scored more, but there were overtime periods that added to why. I don't know. I didn't know those records exactly. I do know the assist records there, and I do also know that the assist to turnover ratio of the team as a whole was better than anybody's done since 1991. Like seriously, we played such solid ethical basketball that we as a team with 44 assists to 7 turnovers, nobody's done that as a team since 91. And that's when Jordan was king, y'all. And Jordan was killing it. So that's a big accomplishment as a team for sure. Jimmy saying Cade got to get out of Detroit. That's what everybody's going to say in these kind of things. I don't know. I'm not worried about that. I want teams to have franchise players. So I don't want them to get out of there. No, I don't. I like every team to have good players. And I don't like talking about, oh, guys need to leave because the team sucks. Well, no, that's not the way it was back in the day. When I was a little kid, the teams would have really shitty teams and those players were there and they get upset and they leave eventually. Sure. But in some ways, I don't like that because that means the less get lesser and the good things leave. They could do this to us if we were really, really bad right now. They could be saying, oh, Scottie needs to leave Toronto. Scottie needs to leave Toronto. I'm not engaged in this. Because in some ways, I know Cade is healthy for Detroit, and they need him badly. And I'm not going to say that because in some ways, I don't want people to say that towards us in the reverse. Does that make sense, Jimmy? Cool Cat saying at MSJ, from year one to current, we continuously push Scottie in different scenarios to put winning forefront. You see it in manifest. Credit to Nick Nurse for making him tough and resilient. I'm not giving fucking credit to Nick Nurse for that. Fuck that. I give Scottie credit for that shit. Yeah, he's tough and resilient because of his life as a youngster and growing up and him working so hard on his own before he ever met Nick Nurse. In some ways, that's who he was. So, yeah, I can't do that, Cool Cat. I'm sorry. I'm not giving Nick any credit. Nick, interesting, going into the game yesterday for the Sixers, they won. He was wearing a purple Drake OVO shirt with the Sixers hat. He's wearing a Sixers hat, so he's definitely got the Sixers on him. But he's wearing purple Drake. And I'm like, man, he must kind of miss us. I bet you he does. I mean, I would say this. So you're comparing Philadelphia to Toronto. The city of Toronto is way better city to live in. The people in Toronto are way better than people in Philadelphia. The press is much nicer, maybe a little more they should be meaner like Philadelphia's press. But yeah, the press in Philadelphia is way worse and meaner. So there's a lot of reasons why Nick could probably be like, man, I miss Toronto. So he's going to walk into the game yesterday wearing a purple Drake OVO top. I don't know if it's because Drake put out his new video this weekend, first person shooter featuring J. Cole. It's an amazing video, y'all. If you haven't watched it, you need to. It's a very perfect drop on Thursday night, right before our in-season tournament game against Boston, because that is the video that he filmed on the roof of our Scotiabank Arena. And he did such a badass video. Like, honestly, it made my list. It's very good quality. That's the best song on his new album, first of all, first person shooter. And J. Cole is amazing. And they do this whole Office parody at the beginning with the guy from The Office. He looks old. It's crazy what he looks like. And then they're in there playing chess and they're all watching it. And then it morphs into our arena and there's all kind. It's just really good. I love this new Drake video. It's really, really good. It's one of his best videos in a couple years, honestly. And Drake, you're badass, man. And way to drop that video right before our awesome in-season tournament game. And you even showed up to the game. And I listened to some of Drake's commentary. He was funny. Some of the stuff he was saying during the game on Friday night was absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But yeah, it's Drake weekend. So Nick's sporting the Drake OVO shirt going into the game. Cool Cat saying, Lex, yes, Pascal was grateful to the heavens for that three. Now he can stop pressing. That was one thing I love. I love seeing Siakam get that success of hitting that three. And he was just like, yes. And like he was so giddy. And then the stuff between him and Scott is so endearing to me. Like there was one play where they made a connection with each other in transition and they did it so well. And they're coming back and I saw them tap hands. And that just made me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. It's like, regardless of what people in Raptors fan nation think about Siakam versus Barnes, they're making that shit up because that shit does not exist on the team. They love playing with each other and there's no problem with them coexisting and running with each other. Scottie knows he wants help. He wants high level help. This is the problem with y'all that think Scottie should just do everything himself. We don't win that way, you idiots. We want to have as many really good players on our team as much. That's why I start thinking that y'all are fans of other teams because you want to take more of our cupboard, take it out of our shelf and put it somewhere else. No, we want to be fully stocked with as many top level premium players as possible. So Raptors fans, when you keep saying, oh, he needs to leave because he's hurting Scottie's development, you're wrong, first of all. Can't you see that? Is Siakam taken away from Scottie becoming what he's becoming this year? Do you realize that Scottie's on his own schedule and none of these other guys are messing him up like you thought Fred was last year or Pascal? That the third year is the time for the leap because he took his conditioning more seriously this summer and busted his ass and put the work in. And now it's showing this year. It never had anything to do with Pascal or Fred. You dumbasses. Listen, Scott, if you want to make Scottie happy, you want the best damn team around him. And you will stop coming after his teammates because you think you're standing up for him or helping him. You're stupid. You don't understand basketball. If you want to run away at his best teammates, if you do, I'm going to start thinking you're a Celtics fan deep down. I'm going to start thinking that you're a fucking Sixers fan deep down because the reasoning of wanting Siakam to leave to help Barnes is one of the stupidest things I've fucking ever heard in my life. And people that say that kind of shit, I think your IQ is very low, very, very low IQ people thinking that, oh, Pascal needs to leave to help Scottie be better. You're stupid. Pascal being there makes Scottie better because he's more likely to make the shots and that makes Scottie's assist numbers go up. So yeah, get over yourself. You saw it on court last night. The bond, the connection between them is strong and they work really well together. And you saw them dapping each other's hands in the middle game. That made me feel so good because that is a thing in the face of all the fucking idiot Barnes fans that want to run Pascal out of town. There you go. Idiot Barnes fans that want to run Pascal out of town. I love Scottie Barnes. I'm a huge Scottie Barnes fan. Trust me, I am. And I'm ashamed of a lot of Scottie Barnes fans because the way they act towards him is so selfish and stupid. They don't understand that it's a team. It's not just Scottie Barnes' show. It's not Scottie Barnes' show starring Scottie Barnes and then all the bit players around him. No, this is a team ensemble and they're equal and they do things together. And y'all don't fucking understand basketball if you're trying to run Siakam out of town right now. Seriously, I'm going to tell you that right now. You dumbasses. All right, Carlos saying, love me some ethical basketball. I love it too, Carlo. It's beautiful to watch. The cuts, the passing. It's like, whoa, look at that pass that Jakob just threw to that guy. He's the center. Big to big is what Jack said. Oh, Leo's going to love this. Big to big action. Look at that. Pascal get the pass from Jakob. Big to big action. That's Leo's favorite. Yeah, I love that shit. I love ethical basketball. It's fun. Stargate saying, you know what is annoying? The Raptors were blowing a team out, but some Raps fans on Twitter chose to argue about whose team it was because Pascal started off slow. Scottie fans were on that BS until this was exactly what I'm talking about. Seriously, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Youngsters, you may not be interested in my show because it's like a couple hours. I'm an old head. I make old references and shit, but y'all need to come to school. Y'all need to fucking come to school. Every single one of you dumbass little idiots. You need to come to school and listen to the teacher, Mr. Lex, because I will teach y'all about your idiocy. Yeah, I've already said a whole bunch of what we're talking about right here, that Stargate's saying right here. I've already talked about what I'm saying, and I want y'all to listen to me because y'all really don't have any basis of fucking smarts in basketball when you're saying what you're saying, you dumbass little idiots. What do you fucking think this is? A war on the team? That Scottie's got to be king of the hill and everybody that's any good around him has to go away? I really feel like part of it is this. There may be fans in the States that really want Scott to come to their team or be on this side of the border. And their way of dislodging him is to get rid of all the good players around him so the team isn't good, so that at some point when he is a free agent, he will leave. This is their whole entire plan, and this is part of it. So I'm going to start saying this. When people start coming at Siakam and for the benefit of Barnes, start calling them out as not being Raptors fans. Start telling them, well, you're not a Raptors fan if you want Siakam off this team. Scottie wants Siakam on this team. You're the only one who doesn't want him on this team. It makes me feel fishy about you. As far as like you want to hurt the Raptors and make them worse by trading their all NBA, all star, great fucking champion. Like, seriously, search your feelings. And once again, respect that this is a Raptors champion, Pascal Siakam, number 43. And he's got multiple awards. He's a winner. We want to keep all the winners we can have on our team. So, yeah, I feel like these kids need education. Somebody get a school bus and drive them here, drive them to school and bring them to me and see if I can enlighten them, maybe smarten them up a little bit. Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great if we could get them all in here and let them just hear me for a little bit and fucking talk some sense in these idiots. Monique is saying stars of the game, Pascal, Yak, and Scottie. Yeah, those are my top three too, right in a row. Good stuff, Mo. Good stuff. Yeah, Stargate saying Pascal started to go off. There's nothing wrong with Siakam taking over and carrying our team from time to time. We need different people to carry at different times. Scottie's not able to carry all 48 minutes, you idiots. So why the fuck would you not want Siakam to carry part of the game when Scottie can't? It's just the logic of them is really selfish and stupid for Scott. And they don't even know that that's nothing that Scott wants. Like, I'd have more respect for the Scottie idiot, blind, loving Scotters that like fucking have good ideas about what to do, but everything they want is not what Scott wants. It's like they're not even in tune with their idol enough to understand who he is and what he really wants. Y'all didn't fucking sit on Twitch with Scottie for over 300 hours in the last 2 years like I did, something like that. So listen, you do not know what Scott wants when you're telling them that we should get rid of Siakam, because that's not what he wants. Y'all think you're trying to help him? Oh, he's going to give him the team because Siakam will get out of the way. But you're idiots. You do not understand. Siakam helps Scottie. And in some ways, if you really love the Raptors and Scottie being on the Raptors, getting rid of Siakam will hurt him staying with us long term. I'm going to tell you that right now. Seriously. Because he'll see that, we don't value our top players and keep them around. And I'm a top player. I'm just saying the logic of wanting Siakam out for Barnes's benefit is so dumb. I do not get it. I really do not get it. Let's see. Jimmy Pope is saying Pascal easily could have had 30. So many of those misses first half were halfway down. I didn't even see those, Jimmy. I didn't even pay attention to that. I didn't see a lot of misses from Siakam. I mean, he was 10 of 18. Give him a break. That's good shooting. 10 of 18 is fantastic. That's over 500 shooting. There's nothing wrong with the way he shot. Cool Cat saying, yes, Coach Darko's statement on Scottie to streamline him to elite status. Very real statement. This is very fun and interesting. And I like that Scottie kind of has different things. He can go in the different direction. He has options. Most players just are good at one thing, and they just got to double down and hope that keeps them in the league forever. He can kind of like do shopping and be like, oh, maybe I would look good in this outfit here as a player and going more in this as my bag. It is almost like the NBA 2K badges. We got to figure out which one of the badges we're going to put on Scottie to designate the kind of player he is. It really is like those 2K badges. Let's see. Coquette saying, I think we should look at LeBron's legacy career and move Scottie in that direction. I'm all about that. Listen, any way he can mimic LeBron is fine with me because he is that kind of guy. People laugh. Well, you and be like LeBron. Well, he could. He could. And that's the thing. Another thing is like, what? And you're like, if you don't believe in Scott, then I have to question you also about your Raptors fandom and what you're thinking. Don't limit that young man. He could be going and kind of doing things like that. It's not going to be like LeBron, like his whole entire career, obviously, because he hasn't started the same way. And there's all kinds of stuff. But the more he can be like LeBron, he could be more like LeBron than most of the guys in this league. Trust me. There's probably maybe like 5 guys in this league that can be like LeBron, and Scottie is one of them. Scottie is one of them. All right, let's see. Chris is saying, good take on what Scottie should do. He should be a mini Jokic, but better on defense. And he's so good within 6 feet now. The pure point guard is not in the cards. And I think he will see it, embrace what he is. He knows it already. I told him that 2 summers ago. I said, Scott, you can eat down low. That's where you should be. You should be down low. And the coaches see it too. I mean, this is what good basketball minds see the same thing. They come to the same conclusions separately. And that's the thing. I told Scott, I said, look, man, on Twitch, all summer of 2022. I said, Scott, you can do whatever you want in the low post. Forget about being outside. Go down there and beat up on those little babies. They're little babies. It's easy. It's mouse in the house, buddy. You can do it all day long. And well, that's what we're doing. And it is the smartest thing for us to do with him. I like the term mini Jokic. I think that's a very good term for this. If people could wrap their head around Scottie playing like Jokic, a little bit of a smaller version, would you like that, Raptors fans and Scottie Barnes fans? If you could say he's playing like Jokic, because he could do Jokic kind of shit for us. He doesn't have to be the point guard. He can be that kind of guy, the big that is a passer and a hub, and be just like Jokic. I think that's a very good comparison right there, because there's a lot of parallels right now. The defense is number one, just like OG. Scottie's got to take care of that first before he even goes those other areas and starts thinking about him. He's got to get that defense down first, because that is where he's committed to first. Straight up point guard Scottie is stupid. It's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, maybe it would work in Europe if he'd used all 5 of his skills and he's over there playing in a European league. But in the NBA, that's too much. And it's wasting his very, very best talents in the NBA system and what could be good. He's more likely to be a shitty player if he's a straight point guard. And that's the thing that Scottie fans are not realizing, that really push for him to be the point guard. They don't realize his best potential and the best heights that he can get as a player are keeping him away from being a straight point guard. Seriously, this is very true, guys. Coquette saying, I would like Scottie to be a creator, defense, and scorer. That would put him in NBA history books for life. Creator third. Defense, score, then creator. He needs to score for himself first, because honestly, why do we want him to pass to other people who are going to shoot 40% when he can shoot 60%? Seriously, think about what I just said. Why do you want to pass it to other guys who are going to shoot worse than him when he can be making 70% of his shots in the low block? I want to go with the higher percent shot. That's just smart. Like these other guys, Gary's going to shoot 40%, but Scottie could shoot 60% down low. Hello, logic. What's smart here? What is smart here? So I would move the order around. I put defense first, number one, scorer second, and then creator as the third trick, the third skill, the skill that leaned into the third after the other two first, primary. So Cool Cat saying bully ball Scottie, embrace his power game. Exactly. The power game is his best attribute on offense. It really is. His passing's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. He could be a point guard, but we don't need him to do that. That doesn't help us the best as being the bully power player down low. G saying Stargate, this entire whose team is it is so weird. Who cares? Winning is what should matter. One day Scottie will be him, and the next day it will be Siakam. Other days it'll be OG, etc. I really do think it's other nations infiltrating our fan nation and stirring up needless debates that are just dumb. If you're a youngster and you're getting involved in these debates, you may be manipulated by people that don't actually root for our team. So just stop, y'all. Are they doing this in other places? Like, do they do LeBron versus Anthony Davis? Do they do Steph versus Clay? Do they do this kind of shit? No, they don't, because it's stupid. Yeah, they do Tatum versus Brown. And that's what this action is. It's Tatum versus Brown shit. In fact, let's turn around and look at this. As Raptors fans, we can go into Celtics spaces and tell the Celtics fans, well, y'all got to choose between Jason and Jalen. You can't have both of them. They don't fit. People have tried to say this for years and unsuccessfully, because they've stuck together and been together still. But that's the same exact action that's going on. So think about who's doing this. It's Celtics fans. Celtics fans masquerading as Raptors fans in spaces. Every single person that comes in and tries to do a versus, Scottie versus Pascal, ask them, are you really a fan? Are you trying to bust up our great team? Directly go at them and question their Raptor fandom. And if they're wishy-washy, if they give a tell, well, y'all aren't doing so good. Oh, you just said y'all. You didn't include you in that. Then you know they're an outside source just causing confusion and putting out propaganda to try and get fans that aren't very smart in Raptors Nation to pick up steam and listen to them. So yeah, ask them specifically. Say, well, are you really a fan of the team? Question their fandom. I'm like, yes, I am a fan of the team. Well, why wouldn't you want our team to have as many good players as possible, like the Celtics, like the Golden State Warriors? Why do you want to get rid of good players? Are you fucking a fan from like Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter days? Were you saying the same shit then? Well, you see how that fucked us up. And that didn't help us running the one cousin out of town. What would have been if McGrady had stayed on the Raptors with Vince Carter in the early 2000s? What would have been? We'd never know. So y'all want another what would have been if Scottie had stuck with Pascal and y'all didn't run Siakam out of town? See, you got to think this way, youngsters. You got to think about in the context of history and what's already happened. And you can't just be like stupid with your stupid ass fucking decisions and what you're thinking without any context for the history and the things that have happened in the past. And now we will teach you history here. So get the school bus and pick up the kids and bring them into Professor Lex's class. So we're going to fucking start teaching these kids the fucking truth about basketball and their stupid ass fucking Scottie Barnes fan club, little teeny boppers, the way they fucking root for him. Like it's Scott Baio on a Tiger Beat cover of a magazine. It's seriously, it's stupid, y'all. It's a team. You can love Scottie and be a big fan of Scottie. I am. I got his bobblehead right there. I got his jersey right there. I've talked to Scottie. Scottie knows the Raptors freak. It doesn't mean you got to fucking destroy the team around him to give him what he wants. I mean, it's stupid. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah. And let's see. Stargate is saying, yeah, it's so weird. Winning is what should matter. Exactly. One day Scottie will be him, and the next day it'll be Siakam, and other days it'll be OG. That's right. We want variety of who can step up and carry us because sometimes nobody steps up. We need somebody to. G's also saying Scottie himself said, I'm versatile and can play any position. His trainer at the end of last season called him a playmaking forward. He does not seem to be tied to being a point guard, and thank goodness he is more. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these are all labels. It's just like Darko said last night. He's like, I don't really look at the positions anymore. Like they're trying to talk about Precious being out there with Jakob and the 4 and the 5. And he's like, I don't really look at it this way anymore. Like there's really not the classic 1 through 5 kind of mindset that Darko has with the way he's coaching. It's like, it's limiting in some ways when you think that way. Seymour saying, how the heck is Boucher playing in the Jordan 4 cool gray Wolves? I have a pair and I wouldn't play in them. But like I said, good game, convincing win. That's an interesting non sequitur out of the blue. That you should notice the shoes that Chris is wearing, and you had them and you couldn't wear them yourself. I don't know. Maybe he's in contract. Maybe he has to wear them because they're telling him you got to wear these. Let's see. Seymour saying rock them too. Sleep like a newborn. Scottie, we see you. Yeah, Siakam makes a really awesome play, Scottie fans. And what is Scottie over there doing? He's doing a little rock the baby for him, and he's talking to the baby too. Yeah, I mean, how is he hating on Siakam or not wanting Siakam on the team when he's rocking babies for him on the sideline? Seriously, Raptors fans, there's no Scottie versus Pascal. You guys made a Scottie versus Fred last year to try and tear us up, and that's what's happening. I'm going to tell real Raptor fans right now, drop the versus shit in the middle of our team. Seriously, it was insidious last year, and that extra noise caused more confusion on our selfishness and weirdness from last year. So just stop. If you really do truly love this team, stop making verses between two players. Now, if you don't, and you are some sort of agent that's coming in trying to fuck things up, continue doing it, and we'll call you out, and we'll fucking ignore you. Because I'm just sick of this shit. I'm really, really sick of verses. And if you're a real Raptors fan, you'll quit it and stop it right now. Seriously, because it's not necessary. It's so dumb. It is so dumb. It is so dumb. Yeah, let's keep going. Stargate saying, gee, exactly. It's a ridiculous, nonsensical discussion versus Scottie versus Pascal. No, it's Raptors versus Pistons. It's Raptors versus Magic. Y'all got the verses wrong, you idiots. You got the verses wrong. Yeah. Seymour saying, yes, Scottie and Pascal gelling nicely, very nicely, finding each other, looking for each other. Scottie Barnes' favorite player in the NBA is Pascal Siakam. Reminder, hello. G saying, did you see Nurse in the purple OVO sweater? And also Scottie rocking the baby on the bench when Pascal scored. They are like brothers. Stargate, yes. Waste of energy pitting them against each other. It's just, I honestly think it's just outside forces trying to come in and pull strings apart. It really is. I don't think it has anything to do with anything other than that. And I think that they were very successful at doing it with Fred last year because Fred was failing in certain ways. So they got part of the Raptors nation, the real nation, to actually turn on Fred, which is disappointing. You shouldn't be letting Sixers and Celtics and Knicks and NBA fans from down south change and get you to turn on icons like Fred VanVleet. If you're that kind of Raptors fan that turns on our great iconic groats like Siakam and Van Vliet just because other fans of other nations influenced you to, you're duped. You're a fucking fool. You're like MAGA people that got fooled by Trump. You want to be dumbasses like that? Well, continue to do the behavior that y'all are doing because that's really the same thing. Y'all are just like MAGA people. You fucking fell for Trump's bullshit and you're idiots. Well, that's the same damn shit. You fell for Pencere's bullshit and you're idiots. Yeah. Pencere is just putting out bullshit, bullshit that is non necessary for anything. And y'all are falling for it. Y'all are falling for it. Let's see. Shaq Lindsay is here. Good to see Shaq Lindsay. Oh, wait, it jumped ahead. I want to make sure. It jumped when I wasn't looking. I'm glad I caught it because there's David. I have not read any David. I haven't read any Click. So I got to figure out here where I am. Geez. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I read that one. Okay, Stargate is saying, I hope there are people from Zazu Spaces are listening to Lex today because 90% of the people who talk there are exactly the type of people Lex is cussing out right now. That'd be great. Clip me. Go post me on Twitter with the spaces. Kareem, I know you're in there with Zazu. You guys go in there and tell them. You youngsters need an education from old Professor Lex. Tell them to come in here. Seriously, just give me one day. I'm entertaining. I'm fun. I cuss a lot. It's fun. Seriously. I may turn you off with my old head songs and references, but listen, you'll learn basketball if you watch me long enough. Trust me. Ask Amit the GOAT. Click saying he did that to redo his braids. Okay, the way he had his hair up like that, it looks cool. And I don't want to belittle him for his hair or anything. I just thought visually on the TV from far away, up close, it looks like hair. But when you see it from far away on the camera angle, it really does look like he's wearing a hat. And I thought that was just cute and fun, and some ways rebellious. It's like, yeah, you don't let LaMelo have a little thing on his ear of his logo for his company. You want him to cover it up. Well, Chris is going to make a fake little hat out of his hair, and it'll look like he's wearing a hat in an NBA game, which is totally not allowed. And I think that's cool. I thought it was really fun. It made me giggle every single time I saw him on the court with it. And when he'd make a shot or something, like, it's Chris in his ski hat. It's so cute. Most saying extra passing was beautiful. Yeah, you like your sandwich with extra bacon. How about some extra sizzle? How about some extra passing right there? And it was the right mix, Monique. The last couple of games we've seen overpassing to the detriment of our team, but there was a little bit of that, but not too much. It was really they were finding that right spot to take the shot at the right time and not making an overpass one too many and passing up the right shot, because that's part of it too. It's like you can pass too much. And we've seen that recently with the Raptors. So it's like finding that sweet spot, the right amount of passes and the right shot. It's recognizing when the best shot is there. It's really, that's what it is. Recognizing which one of the times is, whoa, this is the best shot. Nobody's near me. Put it up. It's going in. Seymour saying 6 years of sweeps between both teams. I know, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And Casey's not involved in this anymore. Like I said, the friendship between Darko and Monty was on display. These guys really do love each other, and they're very good friends. And I know when I saw Darko shaking Monty's hand after the game, you could see some pain in his eyes because he felt bad about kicking the shit out of one of his good friends who he knows is in a bad place with his team. Well, I'm going to say this. Don't feel sorry for Monty. That motherfucker is getting paid like crazy. This is what it is. It's like, oh, you want me to come and coach the Pistons? Man, I'm not into that. I've had some things happen recently, and I kind of want to just take time off. We really want you to coach the Pistons. How much do you really want me to coach the Pistons? This is how much. This money. Oh, well, that makes it a little harder. All right, I'll do it. But he knew coming in to do it that is going to be like this, and it's going to be very stressful and not fun. They're saying the broadcasters, like Jack's saying, my friend Greg Kelser, who's doing the commentary for the Pistons, is having a really hard season. This is really hard to call games of this crap of a team like this. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough time. Cool Cat saying, Lex, Chris is in the process of rebraiding his hair. Probably ran out of time. Okay, that's what it was. I love it, though. Don't you think it was cool? He had like Where's Waldo hat on. It's so cool. Like, I just think it's such a neat visual that it looked like he was wearing a hat. I get it. It's all good. I want to be sensitive on this issue. I don't have hair like Chris. I don't have any hair. So, but also at the same time, I'm just telling you what it visually looked like. There's no mal intent with this. It's just I'm telling you what it strike me as. It's like he's wearing a Where's Waldo hat. It was cute. Yeah, happy birthday to Grady from Superfan Mo. There you go, Grady. You got a birthday wish from Superfan Monique Lawrence. That is awesome. Let's see. Cool Cat saying the NBA tried to slay us, but they did us a favor by giving us the hardest schedule to start off the season. We are forced to learn our system on the best of the against the best of the best. Yeah, throw us in the fire, and you will see what happens. Either you melt and go away, or you get hardened like steel in that cauldron of fire. Yeah, yeah. Throw us in there. They're gonna try and do stuff to us, and it'll backfire because we're badasses. That's right. We're like the movie hero. You will walk right through the chaos and walk right through the explosions and come out all right. That's right, Cool Cat. I love that. I'm gonna give you a dunk for that one. I like that one. That was a pretty good comment. We are like that, totally. Let's see. Mugarbe's here. Good to see Mugarbe holding it down the center of the country for us. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lex, Darko's starting to figure out how to play Pascal and Scottie. We're killing every team in front of us. Yeah, Mugarbe Lennon holding it down in Alberta for us. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just a very easy opponent. You can get more things worked out in a better way and get some good feelings and confidence in what you're doing against a slouch opponent. So much harder to get good vibes and good feelings and good things going against Milwaukee, Boston, and Philly. Add in, besides those 6 games in our first 12 games, 2 top teams, top 5 teams from the West right now, Dallas and Minnesota, who we both beat. Both of them, we beat them. So we played very, very high level teams in our first 12 games. Most of our games have been against top 5 teams this year so far. So, hey, we're 6-7. I'm not upset. 6-7. That's pretty damn good right now. That's pretty damn good. I like it. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Wayne's saying Coach Delaney was on Raptors tonight and was very insightful. Players who are not yet performing are being encouraged to hold their head up and continue to work hard. I think we should chill. That's right. Raptors Nation always has overreacted. Raptors Nation is just so crazy and weird. In some ways, that's why I made this channel. That's exactly why I made this channel, is because of these kind of things. Honestly, I wanted to be a source of information and a source of support and a source of sanity for Raptors Nation. That's the whole reason why I made this channel. Honestly, that's a big part of it because I love this team. I really want them to win, and I don't want our fans to be part of the hindrance of why we are not winning. I want y'all to get your act together and grow the fuck up. Some of y'all Zazu Spaces, you yabba gabba gabba fucking motherfuckers. You should be watching cartoons, Hanna-Barbera, instead of fucking sitting on Zazu Spaces at 3 a.m, fucking talking about Raptors and cussing grown-ups out. What the fuck is wrong with you youngsters? Come in and talk to me. Try and cuss at me like that. You see what you get here. That's right. You get me cussing you right back out. And I will cuss you way better than you can cuss me. You can say whatever you want to me. It won't hurt me. I can hurt your feelings real good and quick. Youngsters on Zazu Spaces. Oh, I can cut like a knife like that. And I'm impenetrable. There's not a damn thing you can say about me. You can call me old. You can call me goofy. You can call me a clown. You can call me a bald-headed jackass. You can call me an idiot. I will own all of it. And I'm going to say, thank you. Thank you. Serve me up some more because that doesn't hurt my feelings in any kind of way because I'm at a point in my life in my 40s and I'm unfuckable. And you little kids down there, you've got your own little sensitive little moments and little things that you are very hurtful, can be feeling that hurt. And I know which ones you got, and I will go right at them. So you come at me like you do people in Zazu Spaces, you will find out real quick. You will be crying. Yeah, come on in here, Zazu Spaces. I got an open invite to all the youngsters talking out of pocket on Zazu Spaces to come to school and come and meet Professor Lex and let him teach you some lessons. Let's just put it that way. That's right. That's right. Lessons, classes in session. Come on in. Has anyone brought the teacher an apple? Yes, please bring me an apple. I don't have any. I want an apple, actually. I'm out of apples. I usually eat an apple after this. I need another one. I'm going to have to watch Pat Delaney on the Raptors Tonight. That's very good intel. I didn't know he was on it. I haven't been watching Raptors Tonight this year. I don't know why. I should go and watch it more often. Monique is saying bonus stars of the game: Dennis, Chris, Precious, and Gary. Yeah, that's the same as me. I had 7. You got 7 now too. I like it. Fiercely saying, so Monty Williams was coach of the year not too long ago. I believe he still has the same methodology. So does this mean the problem is the roster itself? What's your take on why the Pistons are so garbage? Yeah, Monty's a good coach. In some ways, it is what he's working with. In some ways, it is a big deal. Like, they are a better team with 6 of their rotation players not being out. I mean, there really are huge, big names on their team that did not play. That's not the full team. We were like playing half of a bad team. So there's reasons why there are levels to how bad they were, honestly. So, yeah, it's not that Monty's a bad coach. He's a very good coach. It's just that that team is hurt. And in some ways, that team's not together. In some ways, that team is not mature. In some ways, that team doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. How about that? There's a couple different things that are going on. So he's really starting from the bottom, starting from scratch. He's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. It's just, you're right. It is the team. The problem is the roster itself, but it's not necessarily the way it's constructed. It's bad luck with health. And then also, maybe they don't fit right exactly. I mean, I don't know. Cool Cat saying, yes, well said. Pascal considers Scottie his little brother. He's leading by example so Scottie can take the full reins one day. Pouring into Scottie, Lowry, Kawhi, Pascal's teaching. Proud of the duo. That's right. I mean, Scott knows from the inside that he can learn so much from Siakam. And he can't learn anything from you jackasses that love him so much. He can learn from Siakam. He's not going to learn from y'all. Cool Guy saying, I saw the pain in Cade's eyes. I felt sorry for him. You always want to see young draft picks smiling, at least early in their career. I don't care. I have no fucking sympathy like this. In fact, this is the shit that makes us lose sometimes. Honoring Delano Banton at the Boston game. I'm sick of this honoring every Canadian who comes to town. I get it. We got more and more Canadians in the league, and that's awesome. But in some ways, there's been criticism that us showing these honors to people come in so often is annoying. And also, some of our fans in this space right here are like not so sensitive to other people's pain and bullshit like that. I don't give a fuck if Cade Cunningham looks sad. Fuck him. Fuck him. He's a Piston. And, if it's a Raptor, yeah, I'll care. But no, it's like that, Cool Cat. I'm sorry. We can't show any weakness by showing sympathy for the enemy. And that's exactly why we won that game the way we did yesterday, because Darko had no sympathy for Monty. And that kind of line of thinking will get you to go soft on the opponent. And we ain't doing that. I don't feel sorry for Cade. Fuck that. I do not. Trevor's saying YouTube didn't like my comment about beatdown, so they removed it. What? Where did you comment that? Where are you getting censored, Commissioner J? Wayne Strainer's saying, just write it again. Keep fighting the fight, and we'll get it through. I'll read it. Wayne Strainer's saying, our impatience with notables should be tempered. Coaches have their job and reputation on the line. So if they can exercise patience, then us as fans should just enjoy our team and their efforts. Yes, reality check. It's not every year we're going to win every single fucking 82 games and win the championship every year, dumbasses. So please get with the program and root for the team as the process goes on. Whether we win or lose, ride with your team and don't be a turncoat. And yeah, go ahead. Don't watch them for a while if they're losing too much and you can't stand it. That's fine. And come back when they're better and be like, oh, I was there the whole time. No, you weren't. So, I mean, listen, patience is a virtue. This is one of the just words of wisdom that is very basic in this world. You being impatient messes things up. And that's the thing that youngsters need to realize. Patience is a virtue. Good things take long time. You can't rush things that they're supposed to be the best that they can be. And in some ways, you guys want to rush Scott. And it's not the right thing for him in the long term. He's coming along very nicely. And there's no reason to try and push him just because you want more of it. It's not about you, motherfuckers. It's about Scott. And it's about the Raptors. And it's not about what you want and what you want to see from Scottie. Oh, I want to see him do this more. I want to see this more. I don't give a shit what you fucks want because you don't want the right things. We want to win. We want to win as a team. We want to play as a team. And it's not necessarily personal goals for Scott that we're worried about. Scottie's personal goals will get accomplished as we try to accomplish things as a team. So maybe you need to orient your minds a little bit better about what the goals should be about, the team, not just the individual named Scottie Barnes. That's a big thing. I feel like I'm going real heavy on teaching the youngsters, the Scottie Barnes lovers, how to properly love Scott in a positive, good way instead of all the toxic bullshit they're doing. Yeah. Yeah, I love you, Wayne. You're good comment. Awesome comment. David is here. Good to see David Saborin. Wagwan, happy Yak got the chain. He deserved them shits for real. For real. Okay, David. Fiercely saying Alfonso Davies is soccer for Canada. Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Fiercely. I do not know anything about soccer. Obviously, Dennis is a huge fan, and he really was feeling like, man, this is awesome. I get to be with a soccer guy here at the game. I know Canada's soccer team was in full effect at the game last night. They were celebrating him and doing a couple of interviews and stuff. I knew he was an athlete. I looked at his build, and I'm like, man, he's not a football player. He must be a soccer player. Let's see. Stargate saying a cool cat. I see you up in Zazu spaces attempting to have intelligent discussions with those nonsensical prattle talkers in there. You should tell Lex. You should Lex know that Zazu is one of those bench Dennis guys. Zazu's like that right now. Man, if he could give me a mic and let me come in there and cuss them out real quick. Kareem, if you are good with Zazu, I'm going to ask you to talk to him and say, I want the Raptors Freak to come in here and talk one night. If I can come in there and actually say things without typing these, I mean, I'm a fast typer. I can do it that way too. But I'd much rather say them with my voice so that they can hear me and understand just what I have to say to them. Because I will. I'll come in there and regulate real quick. Because I kind of have an itch to do this. Because I'm hearing more and more about Zazu spaces and stuff. And if Cool Cat and Kareem are in there and they're getting disrespected, I want to come in there and regulate, is what I'm going to say right now. Yeah. And I'm going to talk to Zazu about Dennis starting and him being the starter as the point guard. I can talk to him and all the good reasons why it should be that way. Callie's saying, haha, I never miss a game. I'm a fanatic. Laugh out loud. I really enjoyed the game to the max. There you go. Callie's stress meter didn't exist. It was Callie's fun meter yesterday. It was all about Callie's fun meter, and it was off the charts. And in some ways, she gets to take the money out of the swear jar when it's so fun. It's all in reverse when it's like that yesterday. I know it is, Callie. I love you. I love you, Callie. You're so awesome. You're one of my originals from the very beginning. And I appreciate you popping in every once in a while, giving us your report on how you felt about the game. It was the fun meter last night. And when she was getting the money out of the swear jar this time. Yes. Cool Cat saying at Stargate, I try my best to moderate while allowing others to have their opinions that I usually disagree with. Lex teaches me well. It's an explosion cookout for sure. Yeah, I mean, it might be maddening for me. That's part of the reason why I can't go in there, because I just hear like so much stupid shit saying by different people in all different ways. I'm like, I don't even know where to start with who and at where and stuff. I applaud you guys for being in there. And listen, Cool Cat, that's a big compliment to me. If anything, on this channel with the interactions we've had over the last couple of years, we've learned how to be more able to disagree with people and have tact and be more mature in these kind of ways. That's great. I mean, all of us at different levels, if I can be any kind of a role model in those kind of ways, and you feel like your interpersonal skills with other people are easier because you're kind of seeing some of that stuff, that's awesome. That is awesome. I love that. I've learned from so many other people too, how to have better tact over the years and how to deal with, all right, is this really worth me engaging with this person, or are they a lost cause? Because at some point, you just got to throw your hands up and say, this is a lost cause. These people are idiots, and they're just going to be idiots. I cannot get through them because it's just going to be that way. I really kind of want to go in there, man. I really do. Kareem saying, I love the fact that Siakam has the most points in the paint in the NBA. My favorite wins will always be wire to wire. That's another thing I ordered up for us. Like, why don't we get out there and get the lead right away and just lead the whole entire game, Raptors? No stress, no nothing. And boom, we got it served up just like that. It was awesome. It was awesome. Yes. I didn't know that stat, Kareem. Is that true? That Siakam has the most points in the paint in the NBA right now? I believe it. I don't think that that's actually not true. I believe that's actually true because he's really not going outside right now because he's not hitting it. And his paint stuff has been absolutely fantastic. The spins are awesome. I love that one spin he did yesterday where he was so completely around his defender. It was just like, lay it in. So easy. He's got him on his back. He does it right around him, and boom, the ball's in the basket. And those are so high percentage shots. That's the thing. Nick Nurse settled for low percentage shots in his system last year. Darko's demanding high percentage shots and getting as close to the basket and getting easier shots as much as possible. And that is good, smart, intelligent, ethical basketball is what I'm going to say right there. Yeah, Kareem, I love you, man. Fiercely saying no for Poole. We good over here. That's right. We don't need no Poole over here. I'm telling you. He's more hype than actual substance. and I ain't got nothing doing. Bam, David, bam. Fiercely saying, protect Toronto baddies at all costs. Well, you're worried about the women of Toronto with Jordan Poole came to Toronto. I mean, that's a good reason. I guess my reasons are basketball wise, but David's laughing. Stargate saying at Cool Cat, you are better than me. I can never be a co-host because with me it would be a dictatorship and not a democracy. Laugh out loud. I have low tolerance for nonsensical prattle. Yeah, I love that you keep using that term, nonsensical prattle, because honestly, it is the best descriptor for this bullshit that is going on. Nonsensical prattle. That is what it is. Just start saying, well, you nonsensical prattle. And then be like, what the fuck is that? And see, yeah, you're not even intelligent enough to know what nonsensical prattle is. I don't need to waste my time talking to you, is basically what I was saying. Yeah, Bryce is laughing at Fiercey. Yeah, protect those baddies. Those baddies. You don't need them. Baddies are going to have a trouble with Jordan Poole coming to Toronto. Cool Cat saying, nope, no, Jordan Poole, no, Zach Lavine. We don't want players with ego that will think they are better than Scottie. Scottie is the future franchise. Pascal OG loves Scottie as the future. There you go. That's the thing. We could have got Dame Lillard this summer. We could have gotten Kevin Durant last year. That could have not worked with Scottie because of these issues. In some ways, y'all should really love Siakam because in some ways, he's the kind of superstar that can have Scottie grow up next to him and he doesn't feel threatened. He really doesn't. In some ways, it could be a lot worse pairings to put Barnes next to, and y'all would be more justified in what you're doing right now with Siakam. I may even get on the same side as y'all if it was some idiot like Jordan Poole who came here and started fucking up Scottie's chance. Yeah, but this is the thing. Siakam was here before Scott. Siakam was in the top chair before Scott. And in some ways, you got to recognize seniority. You got to respect it. And you got to allow for the seniority to teach the youngster to get better and better and better. Because that's just smart, like team building with chemistry and learning from leaders to the young players. They get better. They know how to play better and win better because of guys like Siakam being around. So Detroit don't have anybody teaching Cade like Siakam's teaching Scottie. And in some ways, that hurts Cade Cunningham's future. So I'll just say that right now. David's saying people criticizing Scottie for doing so much cardio on the offseason. Can you, Donkey, see what he was doing now after watching that game? Or are y'all confused? Because there ain't no numbers on paper. I don't know who's coming down on him for cardio this summer. That's weird. That's a weird take. There's some people mad that he wasn't on Twitch, so we couldn't watch him. I don't get this, David. None of us have criticized Scottie for doing so much cardio in the offseason. I applaud him and I appreciate him doing it because that is why he has a late leap in his game this year. They're criticizing other things, and it's mostly not Scott. It's everything but Scott, honestly. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, under Nick Nurse's style, we played so aggressive that for easy teams, players were looking for a break in the play style, then have to fight to win at the end. Laugh out loud. Yeah. I think the game would have been way more closer if Nick had been coaching us this year. That Darko, in some ways, his style of getting distance and space from the Pistons really worked with the assists garnering and just the easiness of the game. In some ways, the game was easy yesterday. And I like that. But even though it was easy, it didn't mean that they played any less harder. They played very hard and executed correctly against a slouch opponent. And they didn't let up. And that's why we routed them. And that's important. Sometimes they may cruise against a team like that. And that's what Cool Cat's talking about right there. David's saying, love the way Scottie and Pascal play together. Exactly. There's a joy there. And there's definitely, like, when you see those two guys coming down the break, that's a nightmare for the other team because either one of them can finish or pass to each other. It could be a give and go. It could be a give and go and then another go. And boom, it's back to the original guy. And he's making it. There's too much good there. And why are you all upset about this? This is good for our team. If you are upset about this and you only love Scottie and that's all you care about, then you're not a team fan. You're a fucked up little teeny bopper that should be going follow somebody like Harry Styles or fucking Ed Sheeran. Go fucking be a teeny bopper for a musical artist instead of Scottie, okay? Please, if you're a little teeny bopper and you're acting like that, and that's part of the reason why you have your opinions like you do, fucking go follow Ed Sheeran and fall in love with his beautiful, dreamy green eyes or something like that. Fucking like something like that. Go do that instead of Scott, please. Because this is basketball. This is a men's sport. Go listen to little girls' music instead. How about that? That's what you all should be putting that energy towards. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Let's see. Wayne saying, I will never change my mind on Nick Nurse that he gave Doc Rivers Philly a playoff game when Doc was in trouble. I kind of remember that. I don't remember that specific. Was that in that playoff series when we lost when Joel stepped on Scottie, or is that from the playoffs when we won the championship? I don't know. Wayne, you wouldn't have to remind me which specific game that was. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying at Stargate, we have to give you some lessons on allowing democratic voices for the undesirables. You learn a lot about the agendas. Would they let me be in charge of one of Zazu's spaces? Could I come in there and co-host with Zazu? Because I'd like to see how this works. I don't want to go in there and just listen because I'll just get mad if I can't talk to them. I want to come in there and be able to talk to them. It's only worth my time if I can actually express myself freely the way I do on this channel. That's only worth it to me then. Nameless is saying, I don't want to listen to them otherwise, unless I can reply. Nameless is saying, we smashed records, tied most points in a single quarter franchise history, most points at home in franchise history, most assists in a single game, franchise history. Let's fucking go. Nameless is reveling in it. That's right. They may be against us and trying to hold us down. Nameless, we're still smashing records. That's right. Nameless, my guy. That's right. From David. First time 140 plus points with 8 or less turnovers since 1991. No team. That's the whole NBA. That's not just franchise. None of the teams in the last 32 years have done what the Raptors did yesterday until we did it yesterday. That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's fucking go. Fiercey saying, yep, they posted the 4 teams that had the worst records in the past few years. Pistons win hands down. And then there's Orlando, Houston, forgot the 4th one. OKC. OKC was one of the worst ones too. So, yeah, their records are bad. Houston's moving up. Orlando's moving up. Detroit's staying the same damn place. Kenny's here. Good to see Kenny, one of the original Raptor freaks. We love Kenny. Kenny, I hope you're doing really well. I'm worried about the 905. I'm worried about them too. It seems like Jack Armstrong is too when they're talking about him today. 905, 905, 0 and 5 so far. 0 and 5, 905, 0 and 5. It's in their name, 0 and 5. Let's go do the ref report since you brought him up. Tonight, the Raptors 905 are in Westchester, New York to play the Westchester Knicks. The crew chief is Brent Haskell once again. He just did our last game. Klaja Mula is the referee, and Kaz Beverly is the umpire. Now, listen, I'm kind of mirroring the effort that's being put out in the product and the results of the 905 on how I cover them right now. I'm not going to go be like in depth and really take it seriously. This fucking team isn't going to be seriously. So my coverage of the 905 may be a little half-assed until they kind of show me that they're worth paying more close attention to. Of course, I'm going to watch the game tonight, 7 o'clock, 905 game. We'll see who's available. There's a lot of guys hurt. I don't even know what they're doing with their roster. They waived 3 guys on Saturday. Are there a bunch of guys that are going to show up today healthy and be able to suit up and play for 905? I hope so. In fact, I hope these guys are really good. And they're like Justice Winslow and Ron Harper Jr., Javon Freeman Liberty, Marquise Noel. Yeah, we need these guys in their uniforms and on the court because they look horrible with the fill-in guys and the way they played the last 2 games against Greensboro. So, yeah, we need something good, Eric Curry. And can you get fired? I hope you can, because in some ways I want you to get fired. Like, I really do. What is it going to take, Masai, for you to fire Eric Curry? Is it an 0-10 start? Is it an 0-10 start? He's halfway there. He's halfway there. Let's keep going. Excuse me. Mugabe saying, Lex, I'm gonna fix this real quick. Give me just 1 second. I'm still healing my voice from Friday in the Boston game. Let's see. All right. Mugabe saying, Lex, all the so-called Raptors / Leaf fans trying to Scottie up against Pascal should be happy Scottie comes to a winning team. That's right. That's right. I mean, what are you guys upset about yesterday? This was just an awesome, fun day for a true Raptors fan. Anybody who's feeling negative feelings or feeling like criticizing or saying things on a day like yesterday, you're a miserable fuck. Can you just like get over yourself and try and be happy? Maybe just kind of revel in like a success and happiness for the Raptors instead of just like trying to find the black dark spot and something that really doesn't need to be pointed out. So that's really how I feel it. You really gave the tell right there, Mugarba. You said Raptors/Leaf fans. It's the Leaf mindset of criticizing and nitpicking that is the problem. We share the same fans in some cases between Leaf Nation and Raptors Nation. Well, Leaf Nation's extremely cynical and stupid and idiotic, and they're part of the reason why their team has sucked for so bad because of the way they act. See, if y'all understood that, Leaf Nation, your team would have been better sooner because y'all destroy it with the way y'all act and overreact and nitpick and get so toxic and crazy. Well, don't do that shit in the red side of things in this town. You can do it in the blue side, but don't do it in the red side, in the Raptors side. We don't do that shit. I'm not a Leafs fan, and that's part of the reason why. Is because I understand the toxic cynicism of Leafs Nation. And when you start doing those behaviors in our Raptors Nation, I said, no, hold that shit at the door. You're wearing red today, not blue. And we don't do that in this fan nation because we want to go towards another championship and not keep spinning our wheels because our fans are so stupid and calling out and crying for changes when they're being impatient and not allowing for the Maple Leafs to do better on a patient time run of getting things worked out over time instead of being impatient and switching so quickly, never getting anywhere. That's the difference right there. I'm a red fan in this city. I'm not a blue fan. I'm a red fan. I'll root for the Jays, and I ain't rooting for the Leafs. No, I want y'all to win a Stanley Cup, but I'm not paying any fucking attention to y'all. And I ain't got no crossover with your fan nation. So if a Leaf fan comes in here and starts talking garbage in Raptor spaces like a Leaf fan would, that's a big not listening to you. You keep your Leaf garbage over there with the blue team and not with the red team. That's what I'll say right there. Yeah. Fiercely saying San Antonio was one of the 4 teams with the most losses. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. San Antonio, Oklahoma City, they're all kind of around there. It's funny because San Antonio was very much the other end of the spectrum for most of Greg Popovich's career. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, Lex, oh, yes, my breath was taken away and praying for Pascal's shoulder. You could see he had a flash about his shoulder. PTSD took time to make sure all was fine. Woo! Yeah, Kevin Knox, you're a punk ass with a dirty push and pushing him into the barrier, holding up the goal. That was a little scary for a second. There was another time when OG hit the ground too that looked a little scary, but he was funny the way he held his body. It's like, oh, he's fine. You can tell sometimes when guys are really hurt or not because of the way they hold their body after they get hurt. And yeah, that was scary. But Siakam's a warrior, and he's not scared. He can kick ass and do whatever. Yeah, I'll bet you were upset with Kevin Knox last night. I'll bet you were. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, I think we match up good with the Magic, height and athletic on both teams. Scottie shut out Banchero, shut up ESPN media. They refuse to put Scottie on the young stars to look for. Yeah, they don't want to put any advertising for our people up here. We're going to make them pay attention to us. That's right. Yeah, I want to see this matchup. In some ways, this very much is a Paolo versus Scott head-to-head rookie of the year kind of. And I want Scott to show that he is the way better player than Banchero, and it really is because of the defensive end. Some people say Banchero is a two-way player, and he's really fantastic. But I'll tell you right now, the effort that he puts out on the defensive end is half the effort that Scottie does. And that is the difference in why Scottie is better than Paulo right there. And you're going to see it tomorrow, hopefully. Monique is saying, Kenny, Eric Curry ain't having it with me. It's shaking my head. She's like me. We're fed up. We're throwing our hands up on Eric at this point. I'm like, I don't want analysts running our team no more. I want coaches. I want guys that are either players or coaches running our team. At the worst, a video room person like Eric Spoelstra. But no, not the PhD nerdy guy who went to fucking York and went to school and was really mousy and quiet and did everything the teacher said. So he was an A+ student, Dean's List. Yeah, real good at conforming. That's what those kind of people are. Academic achievers are conformers a lot of times. They play by the rules. They do the different things they need to do to get through the system to get to that point. I don't fucking respect that. I respect Mavericks. I respect Rebels. I respect Dennis Rodman. I respect Dylan Brooks. I respect people that kind of upset things. I don't learn anything from Eric Curry, who did everything the right way and listened to his professors and got a PhD in water dynamics or anything like that. No, I want somebody like Bobby Knight who's going to come in and cuss me out and tell me you're fucking up and you need to fucking play better. Somebody who's not going to give me a cushy seat to sit in. Oh, are you comfortable? No, somebody who's going to fucking tell me the raw truth and fucking hurt my feelings and make me want to get better. Yeah, there's a lot of softness around the league in so many different ways, whether it's the way the players sit out for injury, whether it's you can't cuss at the other bench like Beef Stew did last night, whether it's a fucking coach can't be a hard ass on a player anymore. Because people have feelings and all this stuff. I get it. I like the woke world that is more caring and nice to people. This isn't what that is. This is the NBA. This is competitive sports. This is cutthroat. You want every competitive edge. And when you're telling your coaches you can't yell at your players or tell your players this, you can't talk to them like that. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. That's what sports have been for all ever. The coach can yell at his players. And there's young people now that say, no, coaches shouldn't be yelling at players. Coaches should be like, what the fuck, you pussy ass motherfuckers? You're soft ass shit. You can't let coaches fucking talk to the players and get the best out of them by motivating them, by telling them what the fuck they need to be doing. You soft ass generation. Holy crap. In some ways, y'all are hard, and I have a lot of faith in y'all to change the world and get it right in the back in the right direction. But in some ways, I get it. Y'all are sick of people being mean to you. Well, in some ways, y'all need to be tougher too and stop being so wimpy and fucking take the fucking abuse a little bit. You know, your coach has the best intentions for you. If he's an asshole and he's not a good coach, they'll get fired. But if they're yelling at you and they want you to go do something, that probably means you should just do it instead of being a little baby. I'm sad my coach yelled at me. Fuck that shit. Grow a fucking spine, is what I'm saying. Yeah, there you go. Shaq Lindsay saying I was watching the game on the Detroit commentary, the NBA League Pass, and they were raving about Toronto and how they move the ball. They said that they're unlike most teams and take unnecessary threes. Interesting. That's very interesting. Listen, I'm all about not going the trend with the NBA and going so heavy on the threes. If we can muscle in and get a lot of high percentage shots, a bunch of twos, and make a higher percentage, we can beat a lot of teams in this league. So it really is key to muscling in there and getting high percentage shots and converting them. Scottie is a key to this. OG, Precious. These guys can all do this kind of stuff. Jakob and Pascal. That's what I'm saying. Why not buck the trends? Go more FIBA. Go more passing and motion and team ball and assists and get easier baskets and shun the 3-point line. The 3-point line should only be there for drive and kick. It shouldn't be like, oh, we're going to dribble up and I'm just going to jack a three like Fred used to. Fuck that shit. You got to work that ball around into the paint and get those higher percentage shots and go against the grain of the NBA and what everybody else is doing. I love that Detroit was complimentary of our team. Was it George Blaha? That man is a legend. I love that guy. He's been calling Detroit games since the 80s. And he is an amazing, amazing announcer. He's very down the line, and he's not a homer. He very much calls it straight for both teams. So George Blaha, respect from the Raptorsfreak. Seriously. Seymour saying Anunoby has Wolverine DNA because he came back like he never left. Man heals rapid. Yeah, I'm glad he is. He's still healing though. It's still on his finger. He's got covered up. It's his shooting hand. And I mean, I can't say that he came back like he never left because he made the first two shots. That was a good sign, but he missed the rest of them. And the hand very much was hurting him and causing problems for his shot. He was missing free throws partly because of his finger injury. So, he's going to have to come back. It has to heal some more still, too. But it's on its way. And he did look happy after the game. And he was saying that it's progressing very well and it should be not a problem very soon. Shaq Lindsay saying they also said Scottie is the real deal. There you go. Detroit commentators recognizing our young Scott Wayne Barnes as being very much an up and coming super player, a power player in the NBA in the future. Let's see. Shaq Lindsay's also saying if the bench can produce like this, then watch out, Boston and Denver. That's the thing. If we can get bench production, it's tough. Name is saying get Monique behind the bench at every home game. Was she behind the bench in that game? I think she was at a regular spot, but maybe she was behind the bench for this game. I don't know. She has one place where she always sits, and it is behind the bench. It's just a little bit up. So she's usually behind the bench. Kareem saying, I think it's time we bring up Muhammadu Gee and make her because Eric Curry doesn't know what to do with them. Well, they don't have anybody then. Those are the only guys carrying that team right now. Gee, especially, he's been carrying that team more than anybody on that team right now. They'd have nobody without them. I'm going to say this. Muhammadu is too skinny for the regular NBA still. He's got to put more pounds on him and develop strength a bit more. But otherwise, I think he's ready. But he needs to be more strong. He can't play defense right now. He would get eaten alive in the regular NBA with his size and strength right now. He's very much like early Chris Boucher right now, as far as like he has no defensive stopping power. He's got to either fill out, get a little stronger, or just learn how to position and play smart position basketball on defense so that it can cover up for his lack of strength. But he does lack strength right now, and that's part of the difference between what he's doing the stats on the G League that make me think, yeah, he's ready for the NBA. Then I look at his frame, I think about it in the position he plays, he's just gonna get pushed around. Like it's so easy. So I don't know if he's exactly ready yet. I do worry about Eric messing them up though, and that's why I want him fired. Shaq saying, I love how they are making changes to the system on offense, playing to their strengths by feeding Pascal and Jakob on the post. I also noticed Scottie, Precious, and OG playing together in the second unit. Yeah, I really love, once again, very awesome, smart coach stuff. Right away at the beginning of the game, what do? They go to Jakob. It's an easy, high percentage shot, a break the seal on the game. The part of the problem in the last couple of years with Nick Nurse coach teams where we couldn't start the game right. We'd come out and we couldn't score right away at the beginning of the game because these guys are jacking up threes before going inside. I'm like, what are they doing? That's basketball 101. You start from the inside and build it out. And that's why we would have these horrible slow starts in recent years, and the other team would have a double-digit lead in the first quarter. We'd have to make up. Well, break the seal on the score in the game right away with your first shot attempt by making a very high percentage shot from Jakob Poeltl. Ethical basketball. Bam, right there. That's ethical basketball right there. I love that. Stargate saying, Cool Cat, you can't teach an old dog like me new tricks. I'm more like Chev than Lex. No democracy around here. This is what I don't have. This is why I don't have a YouTube channel or spaces. I would be a dictator. It's cool. I respect that. In some ways, I am very amendable and I will change over time because I like to take in new information and understand the new parameters of things. And I don't want to hold the things that don't serve me anymore in the newer parameters of things. So that's part of it with me. I listen, everybody's got their own lives and stuff. Chev is like you more. It's all good. Yeah, I am pretty democratic. And it's all good. Seymour saying, yo, did Rogers buy Shaw? And Stargate saying, yes, Seymour. And Seymour saying, wow. Stargate knows because he's in there. Shaq saying, this means less playing time for Flynn, Otto, and Jalen. Having Precious and Chris fill the gaps makes more sense than try different things with players who aren't ready. In some ways, you gauge it by who you're playing that day. I really thought he should have played Ron earlier and sooner because there's a lot of time that they could have given good development to Ron Harper Jr. in a big time game like the game yesterday. Then getting him in for the last 3 minutes and he didn't even score. Yeah, I didn't like that. I wish that Ron had gotten in sooner so that he could have gotten more development on the NBA level in the game yesterday. It was a safe time to do it. And that if I'm criticizing Darko, I may criticize him for not pulling the starters sooner and getting people like Ron in for more time. So, it depends on the game and who we're playing, Shaq Lindsay. On certain nights, it may be smarter to go with the more reliable bench rotation guys like Gary, Precious, and Chris, and less of the other ones. But on some nights where maybe it's like we do want to continue to develop Malachi or Jalen, then we can throw them in there. And maybe on certain nights, it's better to have a veteran look with more Garrett and Thad and Otto. It really is. He's got kind of different looks he can do with the bench unit as far as like experience and not experience, or dependability and not so dependable, and just letting them develop depending on who we're playing. Yeah, it's a missed opportunity in some ways to develop some of the younger guys with more time. I wish Grady had played better in that game. He should have. He really should have. Like that game was not a tough game, and he only got 3 shots. He was 1 of 3. He made 1 of 2 free 3-pointers, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. That's good. 1 steal, -3 with 5 points in 12 minutes. In some ways, Grady could have played more time in that game, and it wouldn't have hurt us. It wouldn't have hurt us. And I think his minutes should have been higher. Ron, 4 minutes. 0 shot attempts, just 1 assist and 2 fouls with -9 at the end of the game. See, we could have done more with him. We could have done more with Ron and Grady, in my opinion, in that game yesterday. Let's keep going. Stargate saying, Seymour, been a while now. Where you been, man? He's always around. Seymour's in our Facebook group, so he's actively every day talking to me and sending me TikToks. And so he's very active in our member group on Facebook. So, yeah, I don't see Seymour leaving. He's been here the whole time. Tristan saying, I like FSP as well, or FPS. FPS. What's FPS? First person shooter. Oh, the song. Yeah, the first person shooter song. I think it's really good. J. Cole's very talented. And it's really cool how they made that whole matchup of them on the ping pong table at Scotiabank Arena going back and forth. Just the whole style of that video is really good. It really was one of the top 15 videos of the last week. If you want to see my favorite videos of the week, they're always posted on the Raptors Freak channel and below the Raptors Freak content. I do a 15 best every Friday. And I go all genres. And I really have a high quality thing that I try and look at. They have to be good music, first of all. The video has to be creative and kind of interesting. And then the meaning of the song, it has to have something that's kind of like worthwhile. It can't just be the same old bullshit, same old love song, same old metal song about dark shit, same old rap song about money and booty girls. No, I want originality too. So, they're interesting videos, and I highly recommend y'all check out my top 15 of the year, the week. I do this all year long for one of my jobs, and I love sharing that stuff, that work that I do with you guys also, because I am a music critic and I know a lot about music. I was on the radio, on FM radio in Florida for like 15 years, and I know a lot about music. And yeah, that's the best song on the new Drake album, and that video is awesome. I'm biased. Hell, they're going to film a video on my favorite building in the whole entire world, the Scotiabank Arena. Yeah, I'm probably going to like that video. And I am biased towards Drake. I give him a little bit of an extra point just because of his place in our Raptors nation. So, yeah, it's a good video. I really liked it. MSJ saying at Cool Cat, I give credit to Scottie's love of the game. That's what has him driven to be the player in the NBA. This is true. Very true. Nick Nurse did his part, but see the inner fire in Scottie as the reason he's trying hard. Yeah, I love it. Like, and especially when he feels like he's top dog and he's dominating. I've noticed this before on 2K too. Like, if his team's really kicking ass, he can be loose and kind of more nonchalant. And in some ways, he's more dangerous when he's loose like that. Like, because he can get his effort goes up in a weird way. It's almost like, okay, this team is not very good and we can kick their ass. And it's like he's not going to go less because of that. He's going to go even harder and make it even harder on them by covering them even harder. We saw the turnovers the Raptors were garnering in the game early in the game. We had Grady jump in and get a turnover. We saw Precious jump into an inbounds play and cause a backcourt. We saw Scottie causing very dogged defense on an inbounds play where they lost the ball out of bounds and we got the ball immediately after. That's fantastic stuff. I love seeing these guys get deflections, get steals, and get like really good turnovers on the other team. We saw them in a couple different ways. That Precious one with the over and back. We saw Grady do a straight up steal. And then we also saw Scottie really hounding an inbounds play where they threw it and they went off out of bounds off them and we got the ball. Fantastic stuff. I love it. Scottie's up and he feels dominant. He plays even better, guys. That's the thing we learned yesterday. Let's see. Seymour's laughing. Cool Cat saying, Lex, Nick Nurse is like a hated ex for you, huh? Nick Nurse loves Toronto. His kids are Canadian. We are his home still. Remember, Nick Nurse said he was experimenting with Scottie and not locked him into one thing. Well, all right, it's true. Yeah, I hate on Nick Nurse. He's Vince Carter to me right now. He is the coach version of Vince Carter. He admitted that he fucked up our team last year. He didn't admit it exactly, but you can read between the lines and see it all. David Thorpe was that call out in last December, and he was right. And I believe everything that he said, and I believe it all that is true. That honestly, Cool Cat, how can I not hate Nick? Because he made a pact with Daryl Morey while he was still under contract with us and supposed to be giving his best effort for us. He really wanted to be with the Sixers badly. That on the down low, he sabotaged our team on purpose just so he would get fired so he could go and work for Daryl Morey. That was the plan since, like, I don't know, an all-star game or something. They had a conversation, it's documented, where Daryl Morey told Nick, I want you to play for us. I want you to coach for us. I don't want you up in Toronto anymore. What are you doing up there wasting time? Then you had Nick Nurse hiring Clutch and Rich Paul, and Rich Paul's teaching him how he could get the fuck out of Toronto. He's probably telling him, well, this is what you do, Nick. And I know you may not want to do this because it goes against like your whole coaching career and your makeup and who you are. But I want you to fucking shape points and I want you to shape wins. I want you to lose on purpose. And all the signs were there. I called them out. We can go back and watch a lot of my reaction streams from last year. And I'm saying, what the hell are you doing, Nick? Why are you overplaying the starters so that they can't close the game to win the game? Why are we losing close games? Why are you making coaching mistakes when you wouldn't have a year or two before? in close games like the Atlanta game with AJ Griffin. Why are you doing this? He purposely sabotaged our team last year. So forgive me for hating his ass. I celebrated him and cheered him when he came back in that Philadelphia game to Scotiabank Arena for his championship, for the accomplishment with our team. But no, he's a villain. He's a fuck for fucking sabotaging his career in Toronto on purpose just so he could go coach the Sixers and be with Daryl Morey. So fuck him. Yeah, and you can say it an ex or whatever. He's an ex-coach for my favorite team, and he wasted our fucking time last year. So forgive me for fucking hating his ass right now. I will not properly talk about him until he retires. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to diss him and I'm going to put him down every single time I can until he fucking retires as a coach in the NBA. And then after he retires, I will celebrate him as the first ever NBA Raptors championship coach. And until then, he's fucking going to get my shit until then. So Cool Cat, don't expect me to change my tune about Nick until he's done. It's the same thing with Vince. I did the same damn thing with him. He admitted he quit and he didn't fucking try for us on purpose. Fuck him. He's dead to me. And in some ways, Nick is the snake player, the snake coach. He's the snake coach. Vince was a snake player. Now Vince was a snake player. Nick is the coach's equivalent. And it's just going to have to be that way. I mean, you can tune me out if you don't want to hear me diss Nick, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it a lot. And in some ways, I'm going to put him down and I'm going to sully his legacy because he's a fucking turncoat and a saboteur. And he fucking wasted a year of Scottie Barnes' career fucking around trying to get out of Toronto. So yeah, there's my reasons right there. Seriously. I honor the championship coach. I honor that. But the last couple of years, I can't honor that. It's dishonor. And that's enough for me to turn on him just like he turned on us. So there you go. Seymour saying, Stargate, slow ass Calgary. Yeah, he's in Calgary. He's out in Calgary. G saying, OG did get another tech for complaining. I remember because I was appalled. He never says anything and gets a tag when he speaks up. Dre tells refs to fuck off and they turn around. This is true. I vaguely remember that OG tech, but I don't. They're so uncommon. They really are. Coquette saying, you know what's funny with the team? The youngins love their unk Pascal. Holy shit, the young vet is an unk now. It means I'm an old Raps fan. No, they all love Siakam. Siakam's a great role model. He's teaching these youngsters how to be a real pro and how much work it takes. And also, he's showing the example of a $30 million bag man who still works just as hard as a guy trying to make the league. That is such a good leadership to have around this team. Any casual fan that doesn't understand this aspect about Siakam and being a role model to younger Raptors and the fact that he got paid and he still works just as damn hard as he did as a 905er, then you fucking don't understand how badass Siakam is. Because that man could be as lazy as fuck. He's got his money. He doesn't have to be working so hard, and he doesn't. Why wouldn't you value that at Raptors fans? Why would you value a guy who said he loved being in Toronto and being with us, and then also works so damn hard? You can pay him as much money in the world. He doesn't care. He just gives a shit about getting better and working hard and working his ass off. I'm telling you, the man's a saint in some ways. Seymour saying OG's going to tie Grady up and hit him with 20 water bottles. OG celebration style. You thinking that he's going to pelt him with water bottles because it's his birthday? Happy birthday, Rook. He's at the table at that restaurant they're at last night. He just comes around the corner from the kitchen. The chef gave me a bunch of water. He's just throwing it at him. There's no water on Grady because he's dry. They're all closed. He's just pelting him with hard ass fucking water bottles. Is that what you think he did last night? Stargate saying the U.S. basketball media will never give anything Raptors related any significant coverage. Will never happen, particularly with this lucrative TV deal. If you understand broadcast marketing, you know. And this man works for Rogers, so he understands. Yeah, that's part of the reason why Scottie's not on these best young talents lists half the time. They overlook him. Well, he doesn't need to be on a list if he just goes and says, well, everybody's going to look at him and say, yeah, he's the best young talent. You don't need to be on anybody's stupid ass list, Peloton or fucking Low or fucking Bontemps. You don't need to be on any of their dumbass lists. Just go out there and be the person that is absolutely the best. And then you don't need a list to understand what's going on. You don't need a list. These motherfuckers. Seymour saying, I'm not getting that shinny cup. Thanks, Spurs. Yeah, Seymour, you're definitely not. You're definitely not. Victor and that is not going to help you with that. I don't know who all has got the best chance right now. In some ways, I don't know. We'll have to go look at it at some point. MSJ saying people who don't play seem to think many times that there has to be the number one. They need this in their minds, and it's endless, just endless. You don't get that. It's not King of the Hill. It's not like some sort of child game where some person's on top. No, you can't be up here. Siakam. It's Scottie's on the hill. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. And it's not even like Batman and Robin. This is Super Friends, motherfuckers. We got Superman, Batman, the Flash, the Hawkman. We got the fucking whole fucking Justice League of America, fucking Justice League of Canada playing for the Raptors. And why can't we have Superman and Batman, guys? Scottie can be Superman and Pascal can be Batman. They coexist just fine. What the fuck? Trevor J saying, me and my family have been in the U.S. middle of September. It feels like I'm still living here. Wouldn't be back in Canada until January. Holy crap! So Trevor's been in the U.S. For most of this recent months, and he won't be back in Canada till January. Okay. Cool Cat saying, Lex, I hope you come to the point where you can laugh at the Barnes animal. I'm sure Pascal, OG, Scottie laughs at it too. They go in hiding from time to time. They come after me in spaces. Okay, what are you saying? The Barnes animal? What do you mean? Like the little teeny boppers? Is that who you're talking about when you say Barnes animal? The Barnes animal. Is that like a cow? I don't know. Let's see. I'm sure Pascal, OG, Scottie laughs at it all. I hope so. They're such good friends that they don't fucking see it. And they're like, what is wrong with these people? Well, I see the damage that was done with Fred last year. And that's why I get worried. I get worried. In some ways, we can say, oh, it's harmless. It's just fans talking out of their ass. But, that stuff kind of aggregates and gets built up. And then stupid popular sentiment comes out. Then dumb shit happens. Like people start threatening Fred's mom with death threats. That's what I hate. I don't like that kind of shit. And people that care so much about Scottie that you're sending Fred's mom death threats, you're fucked. You're so fucked in the head. You need help. You need help bad. Yeah. All right. I'm going to come in those spaces and see what's up. Cool Cat saying, as a team, we want Pascal, OG, Scottie, Dennis to be able to carry the team individually. That would be a nice weapon. Teams can't decide who to lock down. Dennis said this straight up in the last 2 weeks, that one of our strengths is they don't know where we're coming from. In some ways, that's really good strength to have. Some teams is very obvious who's going to be coming at you. It's the number one guy, and that's it. If that's what y'all want, Scottie fans, that Scottie's just going to be keyed on and have no help, well, that sounds what you're saying. I'd much rather have it where the other team has no idea who's going to kill them, and they have no idea how to set up their defense because they could get burned by OG on bully ball. They could get burned by Dennis and his penetration. They get burned by Jakob and his pure size and strength, besides Siakam and Barnes. Besides them, I mean, that's the thing. We want to keep them guessing. And Dennis sees this as a huge strength of the Raptors and our team. I wish y'all would, you casual ass dumbasses. Excuse me. Wayne's saying we're not far off and being solidly 10 games above 500 by February. Whenever we take our shot opportunities, we win because we do other things like playing defense. Other teams make shots and lose. This is interesting. And this is a really good point by Wayne. I think he's right. And this is something we've had on the download for a couple of years that helps us win games we have no business winning, even if we don't shoot well, is that we work really hard on defense and rebounding. And, this is interesting because Jax talked about this in the game yesterday. He said, look, we're hovering around 500 right now through a really tough stretch of the season. When we get in a much open spot where there's easier games like yesterday, more of them, we could go on a real run. And that could put us higher up in the Eastern standings, in the Atlantic Division, and in the playoff race. So I'm fully expecting this. There's going to be periods of time during the season where hopefully we have good luck with injuries and everything else, and we can go on huge runs and get some real good ground above 500. This, like we said, this is the toughest part of our season, the first 12 games. Well, we're going through the fire, and we're hardening ourselves up to be stronger for the rest of the season and the easier parts of the schedule. And I'd like to see a nice win streak that rockets us above 500, and hopefully we can keep up there for the rest of the year. Because in the Eastern Conference, if you're above 500, you're in the play-in for sure. If not, hopefully you can even be possibly in one of the last playoff spots. So really is 500 is a mark to look at around. We were 500 exactly last year when we were in the play-in. Well, we can get 5 games above 500 by the end of the season. We're probably a bona fide playoff spot. Seriously, seriously. So I like those kind of goals, and I like what Wayne's saying. 10 games above 500 by 500 by February. I will take that. Now January is full of a huge, long, crazy ass road trip right after New Year's once again. So we'll see how we do on the West Coast road trip. That'll really be part of it. I think we'll do very well over there, actually. Mugabe's saying, Lex, those so-called Raptors slash Leaf fans don't know that Scottie is watching how front office is treating their best players because he's in line to become the best player on the Raptors. Yeah, I don't worry about this. In some ways, we don't want to be fear-based. Scottie's going to see everything and whatever. I don't know if he's actually looking at this or caring about this. People have brought this up before that, oh, we should be worried about how we treat Pascal because Scottie will think he'll get treated that way. No, players are all individual and different in different places. You can't make that comparison and say, oh, he's going to just assume that he's going to get the same treatment because all the players are different and they get treated differently in different ways, whether it's by management or by the fans. So I don't like buying this. In some ways, when we make this argument that we doing this, we give more power to the idiots that have these voices in social media spaces. They really don't have that much power. These guys don't listen to them. They're not listening to them. We're listening to them. And in some ways, they have more power over us than they have over the players. Trust me. They don't give a shit about what we're saying. They really don't. And they shouldn't be listening to us. So Kareem's saying, I tried to do a deeper dive on Eric Curry and tried to see if he has any relation to Rodgers or MLSE. This is funny. Kareem, you're getting it done. I found absolutely nothing. How is this guy being cherished as a head coach? He's leaking fluids. He even made an allusion to his degree right there. I like that. All right, Kareem, this is what I get from this because I wondered about this too. It's like, why the fuck is this guy getting so many chances? Well, you know what it is? It's specifically very much this. When Masai came into this organization 10 years ago, Eric Curry came in around the same time. And Eric Curry came in as a very lowly kind of like mailroom kind of, he was like the mail clerk and secret of my success, like Manko J. Fox. And he just kicked his ass. He kicked ass in the organization. And he's been kind of like a rocket coming up in our organization from different positions. They give him different positions and he kept excelling at all of them. So at this point, they're like, well, maybe we should try him as a coach. He has interest in it. He seems to know what he's talking about. Maybe he would work as a coach. So, it's really the kind of thing where Masai touches people and he's like, you're a really amazing person. I want you to do things. I believe in you. And he touched Teresa Resch like that. He's touched Eric Curry the same way. I think that's part of it. I think that he just has a very strong belief in Eric as a person and a go-getter. But he's blind to the fact that coaches need certain traits and that Eric just doesn't have them. It really is that he's a Masai dude and Masai believes in him. And he's tried him in different spots around the organization over the last 10 years. And he just wanted to try him in the coach spot. Maybe it's a fail and Eric will just go back to working for us in another department. I hope that's what it is because in the end, that's what it seems like right now. I mean, if he gets it out of the mud and he has some sort of dream rest of the season with 905, okay, I'll change my opinion. But otherwise, I'll continue to say Eric Curry has no business being a head coach. He needs to be an assistant coach and an analyst behind the bench. And he shouldn't be standing there talking to the refs or trying to get the players encouraged to play higher levels because he can't. He just can't. He can't do those other two things that I just said. So he's touched as a Masai like project and person that Masai really believes in. Just like Malachi, just like Teresa Resch. Teresa Resch, home run. Really, really good person to touch like that. But maybe not Eric Curry to this extent. It may be that he hit the wall on the ceiling for how high Eric Curry could do what he's supposed to be doing. And that this is just not matching up with what he should be doing. Stargate saying, why I noticed that there are not many people from those spaces that follow Lex. I know two, Cool Cat and Blackhawk, but the others who have the loudest mouths in there don't come here at all. Well, one of this is an age gap. We do trend higher age cohort than a lot of Raptors fan spaces. There are a lot of youth that are not going to be interested in watching. And I get it. They just don't have the time. I'm kind of the antithesis of what they want, and it is in some ways, it is part of the reason why they say the things that they say. I don't know. Maybe some of them come on here and they watch me and they just want to be the opposite of me because I'm old and stupid to them. Oh, he's old and stupid. What does he know? I'm young and I know everything. Okay. All right. Well, okay. I don't even think I know anything. I don't know jack shit. And this wisest person in the world knows they don't know jack shit. So all the people that think they know everything, you're the stupidest because you don't even know the wisdom of not knowing everything, that you don't know anything. See, that's the thing. I don't know. Maybe we could be more in those spaces. Maybe it's not worth our time. Maybe it's just juvenile bullshit. I commend Kareem and Cool Cat and Blackhawk for being in those spaces and talking to those people. I appreciate it. It's a good place to fight the good fight for good, propaganda for the Raptors. But also at the same time, I also feel like these people are a waste of time. And then in some ways, they're just young and they don't have maturity and they haven't had the life experience to be more well-rounded people in this world. With youngsters, they got to make mistakes in their life, and then they kind of come down to earth, and then they understand more. It's very parallel with Scottie in some ways. Scottie thinks he can do everything. He's going to disregard the coach and take the shot himself. Well, he's successful in one game, but he may find out he's not every game, and he may have to learn some tough lessons about not really experience lessons as a young person needs to in any part of their life. So. All right, let's keep going. Kareem saying, Stargate, I'm out there on spaces sometimes, but it seems like people just want to complain for the sake of arguments. Raptor Spaces is the most toxic place to be other than a sober person in a trap house. Other than Pookie from New Jack City being selling the cocaine and being in charge of watching everybody. And then all of a sudden he's dancing and they're on the camera. What's wrong with Pookie? Why is he? That motherfucker's high. Let's go get his ass. What are you doing? Taking the content. I'm not high. I didn't do it. We know you're lying, motherfucker. You're dead. You're dead. Why did you do this? Oh, wait, what's this? He's got a wire on him. Yeah, act out a little part from New Jack City. Yeah. No, I mean, if that's one of the most toxic spaces, I think Reddit might be the worst still. But I don't know. Maybe I should come in there real quick. Kareem, if you can get me a spot where I can be a speaker in there and one of their things, tout me, say what I've been doing here and say, yo, Zazu, Raptorsfreak wants to come in and host a space with you and be a part of what you're doing here. Would you allow him to come in here? See, feel him out for that and let me know, because I would love to come in there at least once. If they like it, me coming in there and being in there with them, I'll do it more. Maybe they'll find it funny to hear a whole ass crazy motherfucker talking shit and saying all kinds of crazy shit like a wrestler would in there. I'm just like, oh, simmer down now, youngster. What are you talking out your ass like that about the Raptors for that? It's like, come on, Pascal Siakam is an all NBA. I could just go off like I do on here. And maybe it'd be entertaining to see me kind of put little people in their place all of a sudden real quick. It might be very entertaining, honestly. But you got to get me as a speaker. I can't be in there typing or silent. It's too frustrating. I want to be able to speak if I'm being there for sure. Cooket's saying, Lex, my 4 factors for Scottie is not in any order. Okay. I'm glad you prefaced that. I mean, I really do think that there's an emphasis of hierarchy in that. Just like OG says, he's defense first and the offense comes later. Scottie should be the same way. So I'm looking at the NBA history archives to see the preference so Scottie can make sure he cements his legacy as a Hall of Famer. I like those ideas. I like that kind of planning for him. I really do. I like that. Cool Cat's saying also, Lex, KD and Booker at Suns age difference bigger than Pascal and Scottie. Age is not the issue. I'm telling you, people are going to use any excuse to pull people apart. I know. I come up with ones every day almost for Jason and Jalen. I really do sometimes sit in my house and think about, well, how can I make up propaganda to make it sound like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown shouldn't be playing together in Boston? I mean, there's people out there doing that with our guys. And that's a great example. The age difference between Durant and Devin Booker, Kevin and Devin. Oh, they're not on the same timeline. Is anybody going after them for that? No. So like Raptor Spaces, you idiots, you dumbasses. I'll bet you said that to them too, Cool Cat. I bet you did in one of the spaces. I bet you said exactly that to them. It's like, well, look at Kevin and Devin. Are they in the same age cohort? No, they're not. So good stuff, Cool Cat. I know you're one of the best voices to fight the fight in there. And at some point, you may be just like, oh, I'm just throwing my hands up. Seriously, I'm just throwing my hands up. I can't deal with this anymore because these people are just so stupid, honestly. All right, hang on. I'm going to get to this next part, and I'm going to give you my handle for sure, Cool Cat, on what they're saying. So let's see. Where am I? I jumped ahead. All right, I know I'm going to do a pretty long stream. I'll probably get to 3 hours or 4 hours today. I don't mind. This is worth it, guys. Seymour saying, thank the big G. I don't have Twitter. From what I'm hearing, Raptorsville fans is a mess over there. Keep it over there. Yeah. In some ways, I get it. I get it. Just stay away. Don't even get involved in the circus, Seymour. Bryce is saying we're fifth in field goal attempts and fourth in field goals made, 23rd in points per game, sixth in rebounds, fourth in assists, 26 in free throws made, and second to worst in free throw percentage. If we can get to the line more and hit around 14 threes a game, we would be golden. Those are some really interesting ranks, and they're all over the place. Some of them are very good, and some of them are atrocious. The free throw shooting is something that is a really easy place. If we just concentrate and make more of them, that we can improve things quickly. As Jack said in the game yesterday, we can't miss free throws like we have against top level opponents and expect to win. We need every single point. So making every free throw matters. Yeah, Bryce is saying we will be number one in assists once we get it together. We will be fine. Let's go Raptors. I love that positive energy emanating from the state of Kentucky and Mr. Bryce Lawson. I appreciate you being a positive fan on stateside and not falling for the bullshit you may see on the TV in the US. You know, they don't talk about the Raptors all kinds of different ways on US media in the ESPN, and Bryce isn't falling for it. He sees the truth. I love you, Bryce, man. I love having somebody like that far in the States. Like, I understand Paul B being in Wisconsin. That's close to Canada, but you're in Kentucky, bro, and you're a Raptors fan, and that is basketball country, baby. U of K, man. U of K is basketball country. They know their basketball there. Seymour has got the chomp chomp face going on. Okay, Seymour. And Country Kong saying, good morning, Raptors freaks. Good morning to you, JP. Always happy to see you check in. Lex, for my daily dose of Malachi propaganda. I haven't gone at him at all today, just so you know. I could. I said something about him missing the free throws. That's the only thing I said. For my daily dose of Malachi propaganda, he was 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. I like that. I like both of those. And somehow had a plus minus of 0 in a historic breaking win. Baby steps, I guess. Yeah, I see. You're kind of funny. You're towing the line. I know it's weird. Like in that game, everybody should have like crazy plus minuses. All right, I'll break them down since you brought them up specifically. 21 minutes for Flynn with only 7 points. Once again, like I gave praise to Siakam for his points per minute production. Flynn, this is another area where I judge you very closely because you're supposed to be a scorer. You're supposed to be somebody who fills up the basket with threes and points. Because you're not really a point guard that gets assists more. You really are a more score first point guard, and you don't even do that. You're out there for 21 minutes. You only get 7 points. That's weird to me. Now, you missed both your free throws. That was weird. 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover. So he's a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. That's worse than the team collectively. So I'm going to say this. You're the backup point guard. The team overall had a 44-7 assist to turnover ratio, which is a 6-to-1, and you're a 4-to-1 turnover ratio. So you were hurting that even. See, I can get into the nitpickiness of this and make it sound even worse and worse. 4 fouls, 2 steals. I like that. I'm not going to go after Malachi. He was a part of a historic franchise performance, and in some ways, there's no need for me to get mad at him like I did on Friday. He was fine. He was fine. And I appreciate you checking in and doing this, Country Kong. And it is baby steps, I guess. But how long is he a baby? Usually people are only a baby for like 2 years or something, right? They become a toddler at some point. And this motherfucker is in his 4th year of being a baby. I'm like, dude, grow up. Start feeding him something. Come on now. Carlos saying, it's only been a month with Darko, and I think we are close to being consistent. Yesterday's Raptors can beat anyone with that passing and shot making. Yeah, they're you know what? He's doing a good job. The casuals will think Darko's or this or but they don't know what they're talking about. Darko's doing an exceptional job considering all the parameters of what's going on. Once again, people that were used to Nick Nurse coming in and being gangbusters. Look at the roster he had, and remember, he was an assistant coach on this team for 5 years before he took over as head coach. And Darko's new guy. He didn't know he's going to be the coach of the Raptors until this summer. And, there's a lot to this that you guys need to start remembering about Darko and his arrival here. Cowboys here. Good to see Bradley, the Canadian cowboy. He's a cowboy on a steel horse he rides. That's right. Good morning, Lex. Bam. And Raptor Freaks. Let's fucking go. Let's go. It's simple and sweet. Carlos saying, it feels like we had Darko for a year. So many highs and lows. I mean, the way we cheer for this team, it does seem like there's more time passed than actual, just because of the gamut of emotions that we run. It's so crazy. That's why the emotion makes it seem like longer. Bryce is saying the rest of this month and all of December, I truly believe our boys will surprise us. Our schedule is really meant for us to succeed. Giving us competition early was a big mistake for the league. See, that's what I'm saying. Bryce Lawson has the right kind of mindset everybody should have in their life. You have the odds against you. They put some challenges in front of you. Don't shrink from it. Don't make excuses. Don't whine about it. Hit them head on and go right through them and take care of them, because they will make you stronger and they will show everybody, yeah, you try to put the odds against me, but I fucking am strong and I can go through it. Great attitude, Bryce. And that kind of attitude will get you far in life, in your own personal life. Seriously. Seriously, we can make all the mistakes, all the excuses we want in the world about our schedule so far. No, the team didn't. I'll make the excuses for them on this channel. But the team didn't make excuses. They just took the schedule head on and did their best. And I appreciate them for it. That's all I ask from them. That's all I ask from them. I'm not asking for wins served up in a certain way. Yeah, I did yesterday. I got it. But in some ways, all I ask of them is to play hard, play tough, play together, and put their best effort and let the game go the way it's supposed to. The other team's better than us. They beat us. So be it. If they play a good effort like they did against Boston and they show a respectable game, then you know what, in some ways I can't get mad at that. They just didn't have enough to beat Boston in that moment. So, it really is. You got to understand what success looks like. And it doesn't always look like W's and losses. Success looks like working hard and playing together and playing smart and playing for the right reasons and not ever giving up. And that's something these Raptors have shown so far this season: professionalism, playing high level against a low level team, and also getting down major games and coming back and winning in big comebacks in some of these games recently, too. Cowboys saying, breaking news, big win streak coming. Okay, I like that news. That's the kind of news I like on my TV. Carlos saying, Monty is a good coach. It takes quite a while to instill a winning mentality and habits, same as us. Well, you can compare Monty to Darko, but even then, it's not totally fair to Darko. Monty has experience coaching as an NBA head coach. Darko does not. And that is another big difference. You can see Darko's having way more success than Monty is in his new job right now. So come on, let's be nicer to Darko. Any Darko critics right now? He's doing exceptionally well considering what the position he's in right now. Stargate saying, yeah, fuck Cade, unless he comes here. That's right. It's only if he's on my team if I care about his emotions and feelings. And even then, I'm going to tell him to toughen up and fucking listen to coach and stop being such a wuss, is what I'll tell people. G saying, if fans want to trade Pascal because he is not him, but Scottie is him, if we trade Pascal for this imaginary him, then who will be him? That's how silly these discussions sounded. What is it? We're writing a fucking Dr. Seuss book here? There's a him and him and him. What is this? This is fucking like the Who's and fucking Horton Hears a Who. This is fucking hymns. The hymns. Horton Hears a hymn. Fucking writing Dr. Seuss books about this imaginary him and who would be him and all this kind of crap. It's so dumb. It is so, so dumb. In fact, G, you writing it out like that makes it sound so dumb what these people are doing. It's like, what is this? Coquette saying, Lex, you're a ruthless terror. Cade's eyes soft spot because he's one of Scottie's besties. The honoring of Canadians is a part of growing ball in Canada. It's okay. I know, but there's been criticism by some of us in this that we're too nice. And when we honor people like Nick and Delano and they return, there's always going to be Raptors people coming back. In some ways, it's like it's softness. In some ways, it's like, I get it. It's important. And you're right. It's good for growing the sport in Canada. But there's something about it also that bugs me in some ways. But I get it. It's good and important to do. But in some ways, we have an unfair disadvantage that we got to honor all these Canadians on all different teams. So we're honoring people on every team every night. And at some point, it's like, is this good to do? Because is this hurting us in some ways? Maybe not. I don't know. Some people have been critical of it because in some ways we did the honoring of Kyle Lowry when he came back and he absolutely killed us. And they're like, oh, is there a correlation between the Kyle Lowry love fest and the Miami Heat beating us in that game? That's what people worry about. It's competitive edge and being too nice to the enemy, just like worrying about Cade and his sad eyes. His sad eyes. Oh, I know. I get it. He's Scottie's friend. And in some ways, I do give him a little bit of extra credit on that and like thinking a little bit sad for him, but I don't. I don't. This is the NBA. Some teams are going to have to be shitty. And I'm glad Detroit's shittier than us. Let's just put it that way. Davis saying, we can honor Canadian players after the game. And I agree. Fuck Cade's feelings. See, I'm in the David side of thing on this. That he's one of the people that criticizes us honoring these people all the time, David. I've heard him at the game. He's like, what the fuck? Why are we showing Delano at the game? It's like, what is this for Delano? I get it. I get it. He's Rexdale Bus. He's one of our own. We love him and we welcome him back. So I can see both sides, but in some ways, does it hurt our competitive edge to honor the opponent? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. We need a more fact-finding mission, pay more attention to it. David's saying, Lex, you got to work on that Jamaican accent. David, I'm not doing that. Seriously. Seriously. I'm not doing that. In some ways, some of the things you and your brother have been doing this past week, I don't agree with. And check yourself is what I'll say. Cool Cat's saying, I like how we put Scottie as the face of the team this year. So he feels the weight of the responsibility, but still have Pascal in the spotlight to help out. And she's saying, Lex, you should come by the Spaces chat. I'll bring you up to speed to the masses. Well, if you can do that, if you have power there, I was saying, Kareem, I could be saying, hey, Cool Cat, talk to Zazu yourself. Any of y'all, Blackhawk, any of y'all that are in there that know Zazu and he trusts y'all, get me in there. And let me come in there just once. And if it's fun and it's a hit, I'll do it more. If it doesn't go right and I'm just frustrated and I feel like this is a waste of time, I won't come back. But if it is something that's getting ground and I can actually help educate some of these kids real quick, that would be good. This would be part of what we're trying to do on this channel in another place. So yeah, I'll give you my burner account name. I don't have I'm on there on burner account. I'm like A8049Q58. I'm not trying to be identified as the Raptors Freak on there. But I will come in there and do it. I'll change my handle to Raptorsfreak if it makes it easier for people to identify me. Maybe I'll do that today. But I'm really not trying to give Elon any of my content or do anything on there because I hate him and I hate what Twitter's become, but I still need it for information. So I just made a burner account just to read stuff, and I really wasn't trying to do much. But then I find myself engaging with people on there about Raptors and Doug Ford and writing a bunch of comments anyway, even in my anonymous burner account. But I will, you know what? I'm going to change it today to Raptorsfreak, and you'll be able to find me. And and hopefully you'll find, I'll be able to find you. I don't know. Are you Cool Cat on there too? Because I'll come find you first, and then you'll see it's me. Let's see. Fiercely Santa Kareem, not leaking fluids. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good considering the thermodynamic, whatever degree he has. Pascal's tornado. He's spinning. He's the spin cycle. That's right. Spin, 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 sugar. Cowboy's saying hurricane. He's a hurricane. David's saying, how's my little guy doing, Cowboy? Yeah, he's wondering about Uncle David's worried about his nephew. And hopefully the little guy's smiling like always. We love your little guy, Bradley. Oh, my gosh. What a cute kid. Bradley's got cute kids, I'll bet. He's got a lot of kids. Seymour's saying, win the ones we are supposed to win, fighting the ones we ain't supposed to win, and that's all I ask for. There you go. Seymour's on the same page with me, with the effort with the Raptors, and we've seen that the last couple games. Good effort against Milwaukee and Boston, respectable outcomes, much better than the one in Boston last Saturday, and then a big-time win against a slouch opponent in no mercy. That's right. David's saying, give him a fist bump from me to the little guy. Bam. Salute the Cowboy. Cowboy's saying he's missing his uncle. Thanks for asking. Yes, sir, Mr. Mountain Standard Time. That's right. What a win. Mug Brothers, in effect. Shaq Lindsay saying, reason why I say Zach for Gary is because we can flip him at the end of the year and get more value than Gary. Doing this, you can still keep your core of Pascal, OG, and Scottie and build around them. Now, Shaq Lindsay, there's one thing that you're not taking into account is Zach Lavine's contract is way, way higher than Gary's. He's like a $30 million player. So it won't just be Gary straight. You can't just trade Trent straight up for Lavine and it'll work. There's going to be other pieces that are going to have to be in there, and they may be sizable pieces. Now, if you do Trent, Thad Young, and Malachi for Zach Lavine, I might do that. And your scenario is saying that you can flip on the end of the year. Yeah, I might do that. But in some ways, I think Gary's a better defender than Zach. And in some ways, I value that more. I don't know. This isn't so easy as that. Zach Lavine has a high contract value, and I don't know if you can fit all those guys together. In some ways, if Zach's getting traded here, it's for Pascal. Let's just put it that way. So, Infamous saying, salute the freaks. And where are all the Pascal haters gone? I can hear a mouse fart. How quiet y'all are. Infamous, you're hilarious, man. Monique saying, W stream all around. Keep at it always. Good times. Let's go, Raptors. No more comments. Thank you, Monique. That was a cutoff an hour ago. We'll see how much y'all commented since, but that's fine. I don't mind going a little long. Cowboys saying champions 2024 Toronto Raptors. Book your flight, Tom Duke and Seymour. Get your bus tickets, Fiercey and Isaac, and let's fucking go. Get on that train. Come on right back, Isaac Campbell. You're going to win the championship this year and bring Fiercey with you. Fiercey saying, was watching TSN's Raptors clips and a reference to guessing price games. Pascal said he was having a court built in reference to the hydraulic net. Interesting. Made me think he had in mind to stay here for a while. Yeah, that's an interesting thing because he wants to build basketball up in Cameroon. So he has to buy those hoops for his camp and his places he's trying to build, the gyms and the establishments over there for youngsters to be able to play ball over there. So that's why he was pricing that. He's not going to buy the NBA $90,000 hoop over there, but he'll get something better than the worst cheap shit too. So somebody in between. The guessing game price game was pretty fun clip. And that was done on media day is what Fiercey's saying. Okay, cool. Cool Cat saying, Lex, I can arrange for you to be a co-host. Awesome. Seriously, let's do that. I don't know if we'll do it right away. I am a little busy today, but maybe we will. Maybe we will do that this week in the coming days very soon. Awesome, Cool Cat. I'm going to change my handle to Raptorsfreak. At least that. I may not put any pictures up or anything, but at least y'all will be able to identify me by having the handle Raptorsfreak in there. All right, let's see. Bryce is saying, at Shaq, could we get Zach? Who goes to the bench? That's interesting. That's interesting. In some ways, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Zach has to be off the bench to start, and he has to earn starting for us. I would do that first. Seriously, I like the starters exactly who they are right now. In fact, I think the starters are very, very good for us right now. That's why I'm against all the talk of getting Dennis out of the starting lineup. I think that he absolutely needs to be starting, and he would be the first person I would think of that you kick out of the starting lineup for the other guys. You're not going to kick Scottie or Pascal or OG out, and Pirtle, you don't want to kick him out either. So in some ways, you're right. This is a very interesting conundrum, Bryce. That who goes to the bench in this situation? I would have to say Zach Lavine may be the sixth man, and that he's taking over all the scoring for a bench. Like once he comes in, because I don't think his defense is good enough to start. How about that? Cowboys saying, "Do it, Lex. Do it." I will, Cowboy. Shaq Lindsay saying the trade would be Gary, Thad, Chris, and Flynn. Maybe a draft pick. That's way too much. Now you start talking about Chris is involved there and Gary and Flynn. That's too much for Zach Lavine. That's too much. It's not worth that money. We don't want to match it there. Cool Cat saying, Alex, I need your Twitter handle so I can message you the schedule for spaces. All right. Yeah, I kind of follow Zazu. So I kind of see when he's saying he's got it. And they come up on my side here. Like, could it be this thing if I show up there and you know I'm there, you could tell Zazu to just give me a speaker role and put me in there? Because that may be how we do it. I may just happen to be online and I'll see Zazu's doing a space. And if you're in there with them already, you can introduce me and maybe give me a mic. Because that would be the most effective way to do it. But I'm going to change my handle to Raptorsfreak, so you know it's me. Shaq Lindsay saying Zach goes to the bench. Yeah, Zach goes to the bench. I just figured that out in my mind too. And that's how it would have to be. So in some ways, do you want to make this fucking move for this guy with this kind of money and he's going to be our bench player? I don't know. In some ways, Zach Lavine's too high level contract to be what we need to do. I really think it's middle people we need to figure out from the bench. It's not the big names like Siakam and Barnes and those guys we need to change. It's the guys who are on the second unit that we need to make a trade for. We need to bolster our bench and make better quality production and steadiness on our bench. I would love to trade for a real backup point guard, another center. How about that? Those two things. A real backup point guard and another center is kind of what I want more than Zach Lavine. In some ways, Gary to Zach Lavine is that much different, and the price difference may not be worth it. It's very similar to Fred and Dennis. Dennis is getting paid way less than Fred this year, and in some ways, we're getting very similar production. And it would be the similar thing maybe with Zach and Gary. You would pay Gary less and have him involved still. Why do we need a Zach if he's only going to do just this much more than Gary can? I mean, he is more consistent and a higher, more volume shooter overall, for sure. But, I mean, is it that much better than what Gary could do for us possibly if he's really playing well? I don't know. Cowboys saying bench mob. But Shaq Lindsay saying because you have no intention of keeping him. You just hold him for the end of the year and you make the move with Zach at the end of the year also. So why you invest the time in having him play with everybody and getting to know everybody? There's a couple questions I have here. Bryce is saying, wouldn't that drop his value though? Yeah, if you brought him in and you had him off the bench, probably, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think Zach Lavine, in some ways, it makes sense, maybe practically for scoring and how he adds, but it doesn't really because of what we're doing. In some ways, I don't know. The Zach Lavine thing needs to kind of stop, and he's not the right fit here. I'm thinking more and more about it. I don't think he does fit here. Cowboys saying later, Lex and Raptor Freaks, have a great, blessed day. Bam. Good to see you, Cowboy. Shaq Lindsay saying his value is dropping in Chicago, starting with DeMar. That's true, too. Bryce saying, okay, I can see the vision. David saying, meh. Shaq Lindsay saying, let him play off the bench and do what he's good at, score. Yeah, I like that idea. If Zach Levine's coming here, he has to be off the bench. He's not taking one of the starter spots. And Bryce is saying, okay, who do you think we would flip for them? It's got to be that deal that y'all just said. It's that Chris, Malachi, and Gary. Like, it's basically all the bench guys for one guy. Oh, man. Cowboys saying one more thing. Alley-oop to Kareem for getting my first win in fantasy in the Trap House comment. Let's go. Okay, yeah, we'll give Kareem a dunk. You want him to have a dunk because you beat him in fantasy? What? That's awesome. Yeah, Kareem, man, you can't let Bradley beat you. Come on now. Later, Uncle David. Shaq saying Zach is not a team player. He's a scorer who only looks out for himself. The funny thing is that we need that off the bench. I don't know if that would work in general. I'm not that interested in Lavine. I really am not. David saying no one is flipping anything. That's right. Later, Seymour. Bam. And Cowboys saying, tell Peter I said what's up. Yeah, what's up, Peter Soborin? Hope you're doing good. Bryce is saying, I definitely don't see us trading for Zach. He's paid way too much, but is definitely interesting. Yeah, I'm really anti-Zach coming here. Bryce Lawson, I'm with you. Cowboys cutting out. And Shaq Lindsay saying, you want to keep our core and build around them, you got to increase the value of the players around them, whether you trade them or keep them. Yeah. I'd much rather make a smaller deal, like on the secondary level, than deal with our main starters. Those guys are good. Keep those guys. And maybe look at the guys on the bench. If you can do anything for Malachi or Thaddeus, yeah, do it. Do it. Maybe Gary does need to be traded this season, and we can get a more quality bench players other than just one streaky shooter guy. You actually get a good point guard for Gary. You actually get a quality third backup center that's just adding to the depth of Koloko being out. You know, those are the kind of things I have on my list right now is a backup point guard, a true one, the one that fucking do the job correctly, unlike Malachi, and maybe a third center. I know that's what Cool Cat wants too, is a third center. I know that. Let's see. Fiercely saying, Lex, why do you call Isaiah Thomas beef stew? Isaiah Stewart? It's Isaiah Stewart. His name is Stewart. And his last, they call him Beef Stew. That's the nickname that the Pistons fans for him have. That's his nickname in this league. They all call him Beef Stew. Isaiah Stewart. Yeah, the big man for the Pistons, that guy. Yeah, that's why they call him Beef Stew. It's his nickname. That's what the Pistons fans call him. David's saying, it's funny how during the offseason we have these 20 guys and everyone wants to keep everyone because they're all so good. But 3 weeks later, here we are talking about needing more depth to build. Laugh out loud. Sheesh. Rinse, lather, repeat. Same shit, different year. Sometimes I wonder if people remember what they say from one day to the next, to be honest. You know, listen, it is weird because it's like, all right, we overvalue guys in the summer league guys, guys that are trying to make our training camp, maker, people like that. We overvalue them. I know there's a disconnect in this, and it doesn't seem like it's logical. And in some ways, it's like, oh, they want everybody in the summer, but during the year, they want to kick everybody off. It doesn't make any sense, David. You're right. Some of these people need their head checked. Let's just put it that way. Shaq saying our starters are great. It's our bench that needs improvement. Exactly. That's where I'm at. Shaq Lindsay just saying what I was saying just a couple minutes ago in his comments ahead of me an hour ago. Yeah, that's exactly right. Our starters are great. It's the bench that needs improvement. We need better people on the bench that are more reliable, that will come in and keep that really good level of play up from the starters. Bryce saying we definitely need more depth. There you go. We're agreeing on this. Our bench is our weakness. There you go. We're all on the same page here. David's saying, yes. I understand that is what you're saying. Building partnerships takes time. Building a team takes time. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, but it takes time to learn how to exploit those strengths and overcome the weaknesses. Yep. And read the weaknesses of the other team better to capitalize and utilize every opportunity that they give us. It really is, LeBron at this level, 21 years in the league, he knows everybody so well. He can really pick things apart and understand like instantly what the right move to do in every situation is to get a basket. And we want Scottie to learn that more and more. And now that he's in his third season as an NBA player, he's going to get this more and more, where he learns how to pick people apart from their weaknesses and he takes advantage of it. And he goes aggressively to take advantage of it. He's not even doing that yet. Once he does that, we're going to be very scary and dangerous when he's actually focused and doing things like that on purpose. Because right now he's letting opportunities pass by because he's not reading them and seeing them. They're there. And there's more that he could be taking advantage of, but he's just not jumping on them or reading them exactly. He will read them eventually. Why? He will. Let's keep going. Wayne's saying, I know what I see on the court, and then there is what the coaches see and are trying to remedy. If the coaches see effort and untap the potential in Malachi, I'm buying into it. What say you, David? What say you, David? I mean, I want to believe, but once again, it's been a long time. And Jack was even saying this too, like during the broadcast. Did you hear him? He's saying at some point you got to just kind of like give up on people because they're just not getting anywhere with their development. I thought he was talking about Malachi when he said that, honestly. Shaq saying, aside from Precious, Gary, and Chris, who are limited on offense, who is going to step up? I wish Malachi would. He's the advertised pro-am scorer that's badass and get 80 in Seattle. But yeah, we don't play in Seattle anymore, Malachi. That franchise is gone. And well, I wish you could get 80 in Toronto. That'd be great if you could get 80 in Toronto. It's supposed to be him. This is why it's so maddening, because he's got two things he could be doing for us. And if he did one or the other, I'd be happy with him. Either being a solid point guard, doing point guard stuff, running the team, which he does somewhat, but he really doesn't get the assist to justify that. And then second, being a great offensive scorer weapon off the bench, helping carry our scoring off the bench. He doesn't do that. That's why I'm so critical of him, because there's two different roles he could possibly do and he should do possibly, and he doesn't do neither of them. And that pisses me off. David's saying at Wayne Strainer, I couldn't agree more. Country Kong saying Boucher was playing so well that he took a heat check step back three. Listen, if he thinks he can sneak a Nick Nurse ISO play into Darko's offense and no one would notice, he's mistaken. Go Raps. Yeah, he did do a heat check at one point. And he got it. He got it too. He was on last night. I love that little hat hairstyle you got, Chris. That was so awesome. All right. Shaq Lindsay saying Jalen, Otto, or maybe your guy Flynn. Yeah, any of those. You know, Otto could be more and more utilized as a scorer as the year goes on. If he's healthy and he gets in minutes, we could see Otto start getting 10 to 20 points a game to help us. He could be unlocked a bit this year. And we didn't have that luxury last year because he was hurt. So he could be one of the options. And Jalen McDaniels, he's still very, very fresh and new with the Raptors and still just trying to figure out how he's going to fit with his team. Well, he could grow into something that fits really well in some ways. Yeah, David saying, my man, Country Kong, bam. And Isaac saying, just coming to give Country Kong an alley-oop for the ISO dunk. There you go. Country Kong getting an alley-oop from Isaac Campbell. That's awesome. I love the teamwork, guys. I love the teamwork. Benevolence from the Isaac of the Campbell. That's right. David saying, have fun hating on Malachi, Shaq. I've given my 2 cents on him. Haters will hate. I'll just continue to watch the game and watch them grow. I'm hating on Malachi too. How do you miss 2 free throws? You're supposed to be a 3-point shooting expert, and you can't even make free throws. 2 of them in a row. You're going to make one of them at least, but no, you missed 2 of them. Failure. He's a failure. Shaq Lindsay saying, no hard feelings, my brother. Yeah, no hard feelings at all. But Malachi's a failure. Wayne saying, Coach Delaney made a compelling point that humans develop on different timelines, and in the coaching development mode, one has to be cognizant of that dynamic. He made sense to me. I like that. I'll have to watch Raptors tonight. I want to hear what Coach Pat Delaney said. I will have to watch that. I like that, though. And that is a good defense for Malachi right now, I guess. Country Con saying, have a good one, David. Thanks, Isaac. I'll do a windmill for you. Ooh, some Dominique, some Vince Carter. Ooh, take care, my man. Shaq, Malachi is untradeable. He's our emotional lightning rod. When he made his layup dunk, everyone smiled. It's true. Country Con's getting a dunk straight up from me because I like that he said he's our emotional lightning rod. I wish people would talk about Malachi a bit more and less about Pascal and those guys. And someone's talking about Malachi's worthwhile right now. Let's just put it that way. Infamous is saying, I enjoyed what Darko said about Precious. He mentioned that he's hard on him and he expects the most from him. Yes. I'm glad you brought this up, Infamous. I love this too. It's like Darko saying he's hard on Precious because he expects a lot from him. And he should. The guy has all the tools to be so good. And in some ways, this is the kind of stuff we figured from Darko coming in. The way he developed guys like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bain on the Grizzlies in recent years. Well, this is the kind of attitude. He has a high ideas for what Precious could become, and he's holding them to it, and he's expecting a lot from him. He's pushing him harder than maybe some of the other guys. And it sounds like Precious doesn't mind. He wants to be the best absolute player that he can be. So it's a marriage made in heaven. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's keep going. Tristan saying, I was just thinking about that infamous. Yeah, Darko is a really good coach. He's a very good coach with the refs. I can see him having very, very good conversations with the refs so far this season where they respect him. I'm not worried about him not getting respect from the refs. He's getting respect from the refs immediately. That was something I worry about in our coaches search this summer is we need somebody who has like some card carrying something with the refs. And well, he's able to discuss with them at a high level and get results from them. So I'm proud of that. And then, the stuff we're happening with failure and success with the team, the way he's reacting to it, the way he got the team motivated to win against the Spurs last weekend was absolutely impressive to me. And there's a lot about Darko that he is a really, really good coach. And the signifying that he understands he needs to push Precious to higher levels because he can get there is awesome. Tough love and being hard on Precious is smart. And I'm glad he's doing that. He's doing it in the right way. He's not taken away from him like Nick might have in the past in the same kind of stuff. Let's see. Shaq saying, don't get me wrong. I love our starting five and our three guys off the bench, Chris, Precious, and Gary. We just need them to play like this all the time. Well, part of it is Shaq, we once again, like the last couple of years, we have too many people missing from game to game. We don't ever have our whole complement of our top 9 players. There's usually just one missing, like OG's missing or Precious is missing. And in some ways, we can't afford this. Leo said this in the last year that the Raptors, if they're not healthy, they all have to play perfect because there's not enough really, really good players on our team. And if we're missing OG a couple games, that's a lot to make up for. It means that we have to be even more perfect. So it's hard to gauge our guys with one or two of them out every once in a while. Like Gary missed some games recently. OG's missed games. Precious has missed games recently. And in some ways, not having the whole of them doesn't really show us who our ultimate possibility of what we could be in success is. And on the down low, we've had a tough schedule and we've had a couple key injuries that have hurt us and made it so that we can't really say like exactly who we are because not everybody's been there until, yesterday they were all there. Shaq Lindsay saying, have a great starting five and a bench to complement it makes us dangerous. Yeah, we're a very dangerous team. People are going to have to realize that. I think the Celtics realized we're more dangerous than we looked in Boston the first game against them. Wayne saying this season we really need just 2 players to have a breakout above average performances. There's 5 to 7 guys outside the core 5. We just need 2 of them to make a leap. Yeah, Scottie makes a huge leap himself. And then maybe we have like Precious make a leap. I would love for Malachi to make a leap this year, but I don't see it. I still don't see it. I don't see it, Malachi. And damn it, I'm frustrated about it. Shaq saying, so if it doesn't happen this year, then we keep our 5 and build for next year by trading the pieces that don't work off the bench. I like that philosophy. That sounds like a good scheme to maybe follow. Shaq's saying, in order to do that, you have to increase their value. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, some of it's all counterintuitive with each other and doesn't, you increase their value, then you can't pay everybody. I don't know. In some ways, this is stuff like, I know, I get it. In some ways, I don't worry about value of players like Nick and Fred and Kyle before. In some ways, I want them to just play. And if they play well, okay, they're going to get contracts. In some ways, I don't worry about them playing well to get contracts or their value. They're going to do what they're going to do. We can't control that. And if they really want the money, they better play really good. That's the way I look at it. Gary, you want to get a good contract extension or something good this year? Well, you need to fucking play better is what I'm going to say. Yeah. Let's see. Wayne saying Nick fucked Malachi, Precious, and Boucher up. Okay, Cool Cat saying, Lex, I understand and respect you about Nick. Salute. Yeah, we can all be different about it. And sometimes I really do love Nick, and I always will. But he disappointed me. He really kind of hurt me in some ways because it made me sad. Because I really did. Like last year at this time, I thought he was our Popovich. I thought he was our lifer. And it only took Daryl Morey kind of dangling something over there and saying, hey, there's another side of the grass. And maybe you want to come and coach Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. And Nick thought about it too much and he got it distracted and it messed up his head. He didn't do a good enough job focusing on us because he may have been already thinking about leaving us and going to be with Philadelphia. And that's really bad. That is really, really bad. In some ways, I feel like the Sixers should get investigated for tampering for how things went down with Nick Nurse. That it's obvious that Daryl Morey was in contact with him while he was under contract with the Raptors, and he convinced him to fucking come and coach for him. It was all in the works, and it was all premeditated. This is not something that just happened by accident, Raptors fans. Nick Nurse purposefully sabotaged our season last year so he could get fired and go work for Daryl Morey. And if you think I'm crazy for saying that, I can go show you receipts of conversations that Morey had with Nurse in the year and a half before he actually took the Philadelphia job that premeditated this action happening this summer. And, people can say Masai's a failure for letting Nurse go. No, he had to fire him. He had no other choice. Nick put us absolutely in the worst spot possible, and that there was no other option. It sucks because he should be our coach still, but he fucking listened to Clutch and Daryl Morey, and he chose his choice, and that's it. That's it. That's what it was. All right, let me see. Where am I here? Was Cool Cat there? Okay, Pascal is top 5 in points and post up. That's G. I like that. Bryce is saying, man, I'm 22 and you and Chev are my must watches every day. Salute. This is awesome. All right. I don't want to be like hating on younger generations because listen, just like anything, you can stereotype people and it's not right. There's a lot of very intelligent young people. And, obviously Bryce is because he's here with us. And I appreciate that. Listen, I sometimes do a generational thing. It's not fair. There are very, very much different people in all generation age cohorts and stuff like that. And I appreciate you, Bryce, being here as a younger person. In fact, I'm thrilled that you find a value in what you're watching me and talking about the Raptors like this. Chev is my guy too. I love Chev a lot. And if we're the two guys you like listening to the most, awesome. I appreciate that. And wow, I had no idea what your age was. Sometimes I wonder about how old most of y'all are. And if y'all are younger, I appreciate y'all seriously. And I'm not an ageist. In some ways, I know people look at old people and they're like, oh, they're no good. And then old people are like, yeah, youngsters don't know anything. I don't want it to be like that because there's every type of person at every age. There's knuckleheads that are in their 60s talking out of their ass about the Raptors just as much as young people. And I should kind of tone down the age kind of stuff that I talk about. It's just sometimes immaturity is associated with age. I mean, you get it, but you can be an immature 70-year-old too. You really can. Guardian Transit's here. Good to see Guardian Transit, one of our longtime Raptor freaks. We love you, Guardian Transit. Positive note, starter minutes down, bench minutes going up and getting development. I love that, Guardian Transit. I'm with that. Cool Cat saying, I feel obligation to defend Pascal for slander at all costs. And I do too. It's the sole reason I became active on social media from the bubble racist incident from some Boston fans, not tolerating racism. Be right back. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm with you. I do not tolerate racism. I do not tolerate stuff like that. And this is a big issue in my life. It has been my whole entire life. My father took a job in Tallahassee teaching at Florida A&M University. He took me from Toronto, a very multicultural, diverse city, to a very, very different kind of city, Trump's America. And he told me as a very young kid, like 5 years old, you're going to hear racism. You're going to hear people say the N-word. You're going to see people be hateful towards Black people for no other reason other than they're Black. And that's not right. And he taught me very early at a very young age to be anti-racist. And I was right away as a kid in grade school. And I was that Canadian kid who was a communist who loved Black people. And they came at me and they're like, what is wrong with you? Why are you like this? You should be with us. You should be with the white people and all this stuff. It's always been this way in my life. And I've always been anti-racist my whole entire life. So I've been fighting this fight a long time too. I don't tolerate it around my life. I've lost good friends because they've been racist or said racist things or acted in a racist way. So yeah, I have no tolerance for this. And seriously, some people need to be checked a little bit on being blind spots with racism is what I'm going to say. So yeah, Chris comes saying Raps need to win their next 3 in-season games. Let's go. That's right. In-season tournament games, Chrisum. Can you predict that we're going to win them? I love it. Granny Evelyn's here. Hello, fam. Hello, Granny Swag. We love you, Evelyn. PS Shooter 43 checking in. We got everybody checking in late. I love it. Good morning. NBA Chev is starting back up his spaces. You should reach out to him and do a space collab. It would be dope. I'd be all about that. Put me in Zazu's, put me in Chev's. I will come to both of those spaces. I'd love to interact with Chev. It'd be kind of a fun tag team to hear him and I talk about it. Maybe we could talk a little bit about Tallahassee and our experiences living in that Florida city, the home of Florida State, Scottie Barnes alumni. I would love to do that, PS Shooter. So if you have any connections with Chev and he'll listen to you, maybe you can get me in the door on that one too, because I'll come in and do Zazu's and Chev's Twitter spaces. I will. I'm interested. David's saying Flynn is a product of Nick Nurse and Fred. Guess failure was inevitable. I don't even blame Fred or Nick for this. I feel like it's just a weird thing where guys come in with their player DNA and who they are, and it just gets played out to a certain level and they bump their head on the ceiling. It may, in theory, may have sounded right with drafting him and what it looked right. He's a defensive player in the Pac-10, all this other stuff, Masai. But at a certain point, you just got to be like, man, he's not getting anywhere with getting progress. That's what I'm worried about. And that's what Jack was intimating in the game yesterday. At some point, you just got to say this guy's not getting anywhere with his progress. And maybe the timelines are different and they'll leap at a different time, Pat Delaney. But at some point, like, where are the signs? And is he actually getting better? I mean, sure, he is. He's gotten stronger and he's more muscular and he's tougher than he was when he first started in the league. He's better defender. He's maybe more worldly and understanding in things. But the areas that are most important to me for his job are not getting better. And that's shooting and that's passing. And that is just success. He's failing too much still. And I don't know if he's in his head too much or what it is. I'm just sick of this shit. I'm really sick of this shit. Fiercely saying, oops, thanks for correcting me, Stewart. Yes, to coming to the 2024 playoffs. That's right. Let's win Raptors and let's win the NBA championship or the in-season tournament. That's right. Bryce is saying, man, I appreciate you, Lex. Nothing but love. All the best, Bryce. Seriously. I've been to Kentucky a couple times, and I've gotten arrested in Kentucky. And at one point, I decided I never want to go to Kentucky again. If I go back to Kentucky, I might get arrested. No, it's not me. It's my roommate. He was driving the car when we were driving from Toronto to Tallahassee once, and he got in a speed trap. And the Kentucky guy, state trooper, pulled us over. And my friend Craig was like, man, I got this ticket and a court date because he was going so fast. They gave him actually a court date. He's like, I mean, he was like really thinking about when we're driving down the road, do I really ever need to go back to Kentucky for the rest of my life? He's like, yeah, I don't think so. He's still, maybe he's got a warrant for him there still. He never went back. He lives in Toronto. He's Canadian. So I don't know. That's one of my memories of Kentucky. But like I said, I love Corbin and the KFC lore of Colonel Sanders and that state. And of course, I very much respect the University of Kentucky and the alumni that comes from that school, like Dwayne Casey, Rex Chapman, a lot of great Kentucky Wildcats over the years. Yeah. Seymour saying, I'm so glad we didn't take Suggs. Oh my gosh. Trust him aside just for that one, that Jalen Suggs is not on our team and it's Scottie Barnes is. Wayne's saying we are mostly trying not to be too critical of our team, non-performers. It's difficult, but we got to keep our perspective. Winning will cure all. We just have dumbass plays. I admire grit and not being nice. There you go. Yeah, I know Wayne's on the same camp of being smart and tough and cutthroat, like David and I. And I appreciate that about him. And I'm with Wayne on this too. All right, I guess we're at a logical kind of end because we're at the end there. Let me just make sure I did everything I want to talk about. I did the Instagram check. Jakob's synopsis. So yesterday, I'll do it in Austrian. Schöner, 142, 113. Heimsieg gegen die Detroit Pistons mit einem neuen Franchise-Record von 44 Assists. Wir waren von Anfang an ready und konzentriert, haben den Ball big weg, gut zusammengespielt spielt und uns wingen Turnovers in ihr Lob. There's my Austrian lesson for today. Rosetta Stone, Raptors channel. That's right. We're always learning languages here. I think you understood what I was saying, though. There was enough English words in there. I think you understood what I was saying. That's hilarious. All right, let's recap. 7 stars of the game for me for the day. Siakam, Pirtle, Barnes, Schroeder, Trent Jr., Boucher, and Achua. OG, you're back, and you didn't shoot that well. Happy 20th birthday to Grady Dick. Fantastic to see our teenage player become a man. You are a man now, Grady. You are a man. Instagram check, really nice, all about Grady's birthday. One more thing. Let me do the team stats because they are kind of important from yesterday. Raptors shot 54%, got 102 shots on goal, 55 field goals made. The Raptors made more assists than the Pistons made field goals. 39 field goals made for the Pistons, 44 assists for the Raptors. That is crazy. Honestly, you make more assists than the team makes field goals. That is absolutely awesome. We shot 39% from three with 14 3-pointers. That's awesome. We did still shoot 62% at the free throw line, and that is still continuing to be a problem. And maybe the one dark spot about yesterday. Out rebounded them. We had 12 offensive rebounds with 47 rebounds, 44 assists, franchise record, 10 steals with 5 blocks, 15 stocks, only 8 turnovers to their 17, fast break points 27, and 70 points in the paint. What's not to like? There's so much to like about that record-setting game by the Raptors yesterday. I love it so much. All right, we'll wrap it up tomorrow. Refs for tonight for 9:05 at Westchester Knicks, Brent Haskell, Kalaja Mula, and Kaz Beverly. Those are the refs for the game. And 9:05 at 7 tonight. So if you want to watch some Raptors ball, there's games every day, baby. 9:05 or the Raptors on any given day. That's right. Bryce is saying, have a blessed day, Lex and Raptors Freaks. Peace out. Thank you, Bryce. Thanks for holding down the fort in Kentucky for us, my man. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you feel like joining, membership has its privileges. You can ask Chris, who joined our Facebook group yesterday, how much I was commenting real time during the game on the breaks and giving you my live reactions in the Facebook group. So that if you like live reaction during the game, you won't get me live, but you'll get me commenting and hearing what I'm observing in there. If it's an away game or if it's a game, if it's a game that I'm not at, I should say. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to figure the spaces stuff out and hopefully I can be in there. So I can help Cool Cat, Kareem, Blackhawk, and the rest of y'all in those spaces very, very soon. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. I really, really do love and appreciate every single one of y'all. This has been a magical, fantastic Raptor Freak week with all the good times with Tommy and Isaac coming to town. And I really, really do appreciate this community, this culture, and this group that we have grown and we built together. You know, this in some ways I'm leading this, but in some ways it's you guys that make this so awesome and amazing. And I appreciate y'all. All right, let's go Raptors. Let's go get Orlando tomorrow. In-season tournament. I'll have the preview tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Let's go Raptors. That's right, baby. That's right, baby. That's right, baby. Happy birthday, Grady. Happy birthday,